astonishing, awesome, amazing. Don't you know? Beautiful, handsome, pretty, fantastic, astonishing, awesome, amazing. Don't you know? Beautiful, handsome, pretty, fantastic, baby, astonishing, awesome, amazing. It's the confidence for me, the ambience for me, the nerve that I have to walk around here looking like a compliment for me. I go by Big Daddy, I go by Fine as Hell, I go by Choosy Lover, the fine dime picker, new groupie getter, the hoochie hugger. Call me sexy, call me your wildest dreams, call me handsome, darling. My features properly conduct themselves. I look like manners, darling. I'm beautiful, my skin tone is rich and pretty. I'm guapo, I look like well done, I look like good job, I look like bravo. This perfection in the flesh, and it's the epitome of God's image. I use my face as an active resume and get jobs with it. I look like ooh-wee, I look like fuck it up, I look like you better. I look like somebody chose you beside me and said I like you better. Oh, I'm cute, Jesus, I'm sexy, my God, I'm vibrant. I'm a cross between attractive and elegant. I'm a hybrid, girl, I'm such a stud, a dream come true and what they can't wait to see. I look like when you get your check, you should bring it straight to me. I'm easy on the eyes, I'm a sight that they sit and pray to see. I'm resources, I'm goods and services, they should pay for me. I look like there it is, I look like no you didn't, yes he did. I look enticing, I look superb, look like I bet he is. Appealing is my middle name and gorgeous is my first, so let me cordially report that I'm adorable. Insert another synonym, I look delightful, scratch that, I'm 10 of them. I smell like warm vanilla, cocoa, butter, shea, and cinnamon. I look dazzling, I look delectable, I look delicate, I'm pulchritudinous, I'm angelic, I look like etiquette. Call me radiant, call me ravishing, call me statuesque, say I'm splendid, call me divine, say I'm a snack at best. I look fantastic if you a pill popper, I look like Xanaxes, and if you got heartburn, I look like antacid. Baby, I look like sexual healing, I look like a massage. This drive, I got open doors for me, I look like a garage. I look like holy cow, look like G Willikers, yeah I hold the crown. If you told your girl I didn't, she pump her brakes and say hold it now. I look like ooh yeah, right there, I look like hell yeah. I look like I ain't missing no meals, look like I'm well fed, look like my shit don't stink. I look righteous, look like the right answer, look like a lot of white blood cells. I look like I fight cancer, I look like your doggone father. I fill my cup and let it run over just to look like I walk on water. Baby, I'm beautiful, handsome, pretty, fantastic, astonishing, awesome, amazing. Don't you know? Beautiful, handsome, pretty, fantastic, astonishing, awesome, amazing. Baby, I'm beautiful, handsome, pretty, fantastic, astonishing, awesome, amazing. Don't you know? Handsome, pretty, fantastic, astonishing, awesome, amazing. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know it?
Go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teach Hanley, and support the Media Man YouTube channel, and also support Teach Hanley.
How can I be sure that you'll be right for me? You say you'll die for me. Will you survive for me? Yeah.
are green and I ain't jealous, but I'll kill these bitches. A money fiend that touch my hands and make my panties glisten. Oh yeah, now shout it different. That line make zipper stiffen. She got a steez that's surpassing them female rap statistics. I won't play WNBA, but I'll buy tickets though. They try put me in the bucket since shit that pick and roll. A southern tale saying RIP for who them bells gon' toll. My shit be poppin' like cheese grits on top your mama stove. That's hot. Your nigga I is who ain't is simply not. You're not important to the plot. I plot my climax while they watch. They thought them little verses something. Man, the music ain't even dry. Man, they music ain't even fire. Man, your fave gon' have to die, and I ain't playing. I came to get this chicken in LA, but I ain't staying. Be damned if she ain't gon' lose herself out here. No point in praying on some better shit. Just pray to God I'm heaven shit. This gift was sent as presents. Only time that I felt freedom sent. So fuck you and your bitter bitch. That comment between your Twitter pics on break just for a little bit before you have to clock back in. But right before you punch your card, just remember sensei eat a dick. You nasty bitch.
I've been out of shape. I'm running off another game. I can't feel nothing. It's my fault. I should have been better, but I did all I can. I swear, I swear. If I fall, you can call it the end of me. If I fall down, you can call it good.
What's going on? Welcome back to another Media Man Live. I'm excited to be here on this great Monday. This is potentially the last show of April, and it's been a great month. We got a lot covered, and this show will be no different. I promise you guys will enjoy it. I have so much information to share. Everything just kept piling up as I decided to do this show about the military and answer a couple of questions in regards to my 20 years of service. But as the week went on, I saw so many great conversations that I wanted to share with you guys and also do some statistical dumps in regards to these spaces. Now, let me be clear. I told you guys before that I am constantly learning about these spaces. So some of the things that I may cover, you guys probably may have seen before. You never heard me talk about it. But on my audience, I like to be very clear with dispelling these quote unquote rumors and conversations about Black men. And I think some of the stuff that you guys, you'll say in the comments, well, such and such already debunked this or covered this, but you guys didn't have me here. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth in regards to certain topics. So that's why I do these shows, because I want to make sure that I have reference points for you guys to pull from when you have these conversations in public, on social media, or in private, right? And also, when I learn about it, it's new to me. So I wouldn't sit here and try and rehash something that I already knew. I didn't know this, but I seen the narrative going around, and that's why I bring certain topics up. So I just want to make that clear. So it doesn't matter if you guys put in the community post to say that it's already been debunked, but Media Man hasn't covered it. I hate, referring to myself with my own name. What is it? First person, whatever they're called, third person. I don't know. But yeah, so that's why. Well, we're going to cover a topic that was very fascinating to me, and I saw it being shared on a particular Black man hating podcast or, influencer. And I just wanted to share with Black men and also with Black women, man, you guys got to, start doing your research a little bit more before you start putting this stuff on social media, because you got brothers like me who are going to do the necessary reading to make sure that everything you say is true about Black men. And about 99.9% of the time, it's not. The only thing that was actually true that I've heard on these spaces from Black women is that, they have more degrees than us, which is true. However, all races of women have more degrees than their male counterparts, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, so it's going to definitely be a great show. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait. So let me go ahead and acknowledge Eclectic Agitator for the $2 super chat. He said my 2 cents for the Pot Church. Appreciate it, good brother. What's going on? And then also let me go ahead and acknowledge Tiger Crane Shakir. Became a member prior to the show starting. I greatly appreciate it, you guys. We are closing in on the memberships, and this is a milestone for me. Hold on, let me get the updated numbers real quick. Let's see here. So for memberships on the channel, we are up to 97. So we only got 3 more left until we get to 100, man. So if we can eclipse that prior to the show ending, I would greatly appreciate it. 3 more channel memberships, and we'll be right there. I see you, Tiger Crane Shakur. We had Ren McKinley join 2 days ago, and then also King P Beast became a member 6 days ago. He actually rejoined, so I greatly appreciate it. 3 more. So we almost there, brother. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Let me see who else we got in the building before we get to cooking. It's gonna be a great show. I'm so excited. Hold on, wait. Let's see here. Let me see some new names. We got Seasoned Swag. That's a cold name. Media Man Semper Fi Salute. What's going on, Marine? How you? Good to see it. Got my veterans or my currently serving members, retired members here. Good to see y'all. And we got Saint Cyr. What's going on? Salute to you, good brother. How you? And we got Thomas Bland, my guy. He said, love the song. Shout out to Media Man. Let me go ahead and acknowledge you. He is actually the current show sponsor. Brother sent in an $8 Cash App, man, and I greatly appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Let's see here. Eclectic Agitator says, not complaining about my personal life on the internet. Thank you for the guidance, Media Man. Keep cooking. We need it. I greatly appreciate it, man. That's all I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to save y'all some trouble from arguing with folks on here. that's all I'm trying to do. XL Pro, what's going on? Welcome back, man. He said, hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And we got Jay Curve in the building. What's going on, Jay? How you over there? Chilling. Let's see here. And we got Ray Hanma. What's going on? The Hanma Force. He said, peace and blessings, Media Man. Cheers to you, brother. Man, see, Big E Sharp, we got some Lakers stuff going on. Our Lakers down 3-1 elimination game tonight. Yeah, hopefully not. I'm definitely going to be watching. Hopefully, the Lakers can do something spectacular. I would really love it for my mental health. Thomas Bland said, you're welcome. Thanks for all you do. Had to pay my tithes and officer. I greatly appreciate it. Man, I'm about to start putting that in there because after I wore that purple tie, everybody loved that purple tie, and I called it Pentecostal purple. Let me stop playing with the Lord. Oh, God forgive me. Let's see. We got Young Boy actually became a member. Oh man, you listen, brother. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Let me see if it updated. It will. It did. It actually updated. Hold on. Make sure it's showing up in here. Yeah, I think it'll update the number, but I actually see you here. It says Young Boy joined 0 days ago. Man, that's pretty cool. I could actually see it on the YouTube studio right now. Man, that's pretty cool. That's cool. I like to see that, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. So we down to 2 to get to 100. Thank you. Let's see here. And we got Air Force Rick in the building. Said one of the few good things on a Monday is Media Man cooking. Man, that's the sole purpose. I remember I used to hate when I used to work in the clinic, and those Mondays off of a great weekend used to suck. But now, hey, I found a time slot to where we can get in here at 3. And I can let y'all enjoy the rest of your night. And hopefully this will be informative. It was informative to me as well. And I'm going to show you why here in a second. Let's see here. And we got Ali Broderick in the building. And that's my new show sponsor, $10 Super Chat. He says, welcome back, bro. Hope everything is well. My dad is a Vietnam veteran. Looking forward to the show. Yeah, man. And Vietnam was such a tough war. And it's funny. My brother, he actually visited Vietnam, and they actually do tours to go see like the different hide holes and stuff like that. And it's just a drastic change from the movies that you see, in the portrayal of the Vietnam War. Such a tough war, man. Yeah. Let's see. A salute to him. Salute to your dad. Let's see. Let me go and update you real quick. Ali Broderick. Got you in there, brother. Cool. We in there. All right. Who else I got in here? Did I get everything? Yeah, I got it. Okay, that was cool. All right, let me see something real quick. Check the cash apps. Got that. Cool. I'm just going through it. Let me make sure. 1 second. This is going to be a great show. Hold on. Cool. Everything good. All right. We in here. So we're going to start off hot. Because I actually conducted a social experiment on you guys, on some of the members who actually participated and voted on the community tab. If you guys remember, if you were here from about maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that we all have biases, right? And I publicly admitted, yes, I'm a man, so of course I'm going to be biased towards what men say, just a little bit. If it makes sense, of course, I'm going to make sure that I'm protecting the black male ethnic image, and I'm going to side with men because I am a man. And I was telling you guys that women do the same thing on social media. And that's why it's so tough for you guys to sit there and argue with strange women and try and get them to take accountability. Because for one, they're in front of an audience. So it's going to be tough to get women to actually comply with the actual truth when they're sitting in front of people that they don't know and they don't respect you. And their biases, and you guys call it or refer to it as the sisterhood, right? So even though a woman, most women may be on your side, so to speak, and they may speak up for Black men or men in particular, they still have certain biases that they have to adhere to because of the fact that they are females. And it's the same things that we do. So to sit there and say that people don't have internal biases already is actually crazy. And some of the pushback that I received on that from the guys, actually, they were like, "Ah, man, if it makes sense, and I'm good. I don't see any difference." And some women actually chimed in and said, "No, I don't do that." So I decided to do a social experiment, and this is something that you have to do when you kind of conduct research. You have to get these different types of studies and analysis just to see how people think. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but if you were on my community post, you would have seen this. Let me show you something real quick. All right. So did you guys see this on the community post? Put a 1 in the chat if you actually voted on this question. Did anybody see this? Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this in my community post. I'll wait for a second. We got 62 folks in here. Good to see. Let me know. Did y'all see this? Okay, Jamari Mack, he said he's seen it. Neville seen it. Cool. What's going on, Neville? What's going on, Jamar? All right, cool. So we'll stop there. So I'm going to show you what I did here. But first, I'm going to actually read this. Oh, man, my bad. Dante Brown, I'll update you in a second, my guy. With the $5 super chat, he said, "Brother Double M, what's going on? What's going on, good brother? I got you." So if you look here, I asked this question. If a man is dating a new woman who he hasn't had sex with, but still having sex with his ex-girlfriend, do you still consider that cheating? And I use what I deem the I'm not like other guys manipulation tactic. And this is something that you learn with dealing with women. Maybe crazy, maybe sad, but this is something that men do. There's something that I've done. So by continuing to have sex with your ex-girlfriend while dating a new woman, it stops a man from pursuing sex while dating. The goal is to make the new woman think that you're not like other guys who only want sex, but also manipulates the new woman into thinking that she's unattractive to you. Eventually, she'll ask if you're attracted to her and or initiate sex to prove that she's still attractive, which is the man's primary goal. Women have the power to influence men with their attractiveness and or make a man think that she's going to have sex with him, i.e. the friend zone. But when you take the influence away, then she has no power. She'll try to regain that power by becoming sexually aggressive. Yes, gentlemen, this works. So, do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Because we all think that we're not like other guys. And that's a common term that women have hopefully caught on to by now when men will say, "Well, I'm not like other guys. I'm not like all the other guys." Yes, we are exactly the same. I don't care if it's Stephen Urkel or Stefan Urkel. We all want to sneak in. We all want to get that booty. So I don't care how you go about it, the nerdy way, the good guy way, the good man way, whatever it is. All men are the same in that mindset in regards to dating. You don't take a woman out on dates that you're not attracted to, sexually attracted to. We don't invest in women like that. So that's why I always wanted to create a YouTube channel, because I used to hate the fact that men used to use that as an excuse or tell women that I'm not like other guys. You are. We are all the same when it comes to that. Yes, you may have different, a different thought process in regards to I'm dating for marriage. I'm just dating for casual hookups, relationships. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you know that women come attached with the vagina and you want to sneak into it with her permission, of course. And you want to probably possibly have some kids or just get your rocks off. It is what it is. So that's why I'm putting this up there and saying that it's a manipulation tactic because it actually works, right? So with me explaining that, right, hopefully that makes sense. Now, let me show you guys something. I put up the same post and I had it pertaining to women. I said, question, if a woman is dating a new man who she hasn't had sex with, but still having sex with an ex-boyfriend, do you consider that cheating? And this is what I call the wholesome woman / low body count manipulation tactic. By continuing to have sex with an ex-boyfriend while dating a new man, it stops a woman from giving a man sex before a relationship and or marriage is secured. The goal is to make the new man think that you're a wholesome woman who doesn't want to have sex with anyone, but also manipulates the new man into thinking that her body count is low. Eventually, the new man will try to meet whatever rules that the woman has set in order to have sex. So he'll pursue a commitment faster than normal or go as far as marrying the woman if she tells him that she's not having sex before marriage, which is the woman's primary goal. Women have the power to influence men with their attractiveness. So by having sex with the ex-boyfriend while telling the new man that she's celibate and or waiting until marriage, it makes the new man believe that she is not a promiscuous woman or a good girl. Yes, ladies, this works on most men. And I said most for a reason, because we all have bought into the fact that there are possibly more simps out there than more men who are aware. So that's why I said most men, because it's basically them trying to live up to her standards that she has set just to make you think that she doesn't have sex often with new guys. And this typically works for women who don't have kids, because men who are aware are already smart enough to know or understand that if a woman has kids, that's living proof that she's had sex before, walking around, eating fruit snacks, Capri Sun, so on and so forth, right? So when she comes into a dynamic and she says, hey, I'm celibate or I'm waiting till marriage, Kevin Samuels flushed this out immediately on his platform when women used to come up with that foolery. He was like, what you talking about, you celibate? You got 2-3 kids running around here and you talking about you celibate now? So you want the new guy with bigger or higher standards for him to not get anything. Y'all remember these conversations that Kevin used to have? Yeah. So we know about these things, okay? So this is the same dynamic for women as I did with men. So how do you think this fared on the community post? What y'all think? Y'all think that, matter of fact, let's get to it. Let me show you guys something. So the voting for the men, remember the question was, if a man is dating a new woman who he hadn't had sex with, but still having sex with an ex-girlfriend, do you consider that cheating? Most men who voted said that is not cheating because they are not in a relationship yet. Then 30% of the men who voted out of the 340 said that is cheating because they're working towards a relationship. But you see a distinct difference, 70 to 30. 7 out of 10 men said it's not cheating when a man does it. Now, let's look at what they said for women. You see that? Question was, if a woman is dating a new man who she hasn't had sex with, but still having sex with an ex-boyfriend, do you consider that cheating? This one got 506 votes. 37% of the men who voted said that is not cheating because they're not in a relationship yet. 63% of the men said that that is cheating because they're working towards a relationship. And the reason why I said 506 men voted is because my platform it's overwhelmingly men. I believe it's almost like 8-2. You know what I'm saying? 8 men to 2 women or whatever, right? So what does that tell you? And why did I do this? I did it for a particular reason, to explain to you guys that if these same 2 questions were shared on, let's say, a black woman who hates black men's channel, then they probably would have flipped. I would probably say that 80% of the women on that fictitious woman's platform would say that no, it's not cheating when women do it. But when you go to the men, they'll say yes, it is absolutely cheating if you're trying to date someone but you're still having sex with your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. You see what I'm saying here? So that's why I did that, to show you guys that we all have internal biases based off of the people that we either hang around or the social media content creators that we actually watch. So that was the whole point. Make sense? So yes, and it's understandable. And like I said, I'm not trying to indict you guys for having biases, because like I said, I admitted to that as well. I'm a little bit more egalitarian because I do have a platform, but even with egalitarian relationships or marriages, the men tend to make more money. So just slightly, I do lean towards men and protecting the black man's ethnic image. So that's why when you see black women fighting so hard not to accept certain statistics and research and so on and so forth, is because of that bias. And also it has a lot to do with them being sold this lie for so many years about black men and what black men aren't doing. So when you tell them that, hey, this wasn't true, they don't want to hear that. And I'm saying this for a reason, because this is going to bleed into a conversation that we're about to have about doing proper research prior to sharing stuff on social media. So yeah, so that's why. And I think this was a great test. It was a great study. And I'm actually going to clip this up because it needs to be, used for these spaces. So don't get upset when you see women, getting pissed off with statistics. It's nothing you can do if they don't accept it. It is what it is. And I'm going to give you a prime example for that as well. So yeah, so just wanted to start off with that there. So let me get some of these comments before we get to it. Let me see here. Well, we got Mr. Walker in the building. What's going on, good brother? Man, I was over there listening to y'all, man. He said, where was you coming from, media man? I was actually I went to the Laker game. I flew to LA and I watched the Lakers get their first win, because I was gonna be pissed off if I flew all the way to LA just to miss that damn game and we get knocked out of the playoffs. But yeah, so I was in the airport in LAX catching my flight back. So and I was listening to y'all while I was walking through. Man, great show, brother. Appreciate it. And that's put all your links in the description. Single by Choices, the Car Before the Horse Productions. Those brothers doing great things out there. Both those channels are growing simultaneously. I love to see it, man. Shouts out to y'all brothers. Let's see here. Paul Hightower said, we've all heard follow the leader, but lead the follower is new. Okay. You talking about what I wrote. Let's see here. Queese says, from a primal aspect, yes, unless you subscribe to a greater idea. So I partially agree, fam. That's like I said, maybe I could be, my mind could be changed. But what's the greater idea? The greater idea, the only reason why we have sex is to procreate. Ain't that supposed, is that in the Bible? Even though we know people don't do that. We have sex for pleasure, right? But the ultimate goal for God, the way he created us, is to, fruitful, what is it called? I'm not too good with citing scriptures. Be fruitful and multiply, right? So in order to create children, you have to have sex. That's all I'm saying. So we are not different. Generation Love said, being attracted doesn't mean you want booty. I want loyalty, a relationship, and marriage. So with loyalty, relationship, and marriage, do you plan on having sex? Okay. Thanos was right. When women complain about their exes, I tell them I ain't going to be any different. Yeah, don't sell that lie. Like, no, I'm gonna say I'm not like other guys. No, my morals, my character, may be different, but typically when we say that, we're talking about, I hope your women are saying, I hope you just ain't after sex. And most guys will say, oh, I'm not like other guys. You are, but you just may go about it a different way. So I don't even make the, and I've even made it a joke while on dates. Women will say that, so I guess you ain't like other guys. I'm like, no, I'm absolutely like every other guy. What you mean by that? And I have them explain, well, you just have to, I was like, no, well, I was like, well, I wouldn't be taking you out if I wasn't attracted to you. Right. And that's a conversation started. I'm like, no, that's not saying that's the only thing I'm after. I think you're a great woman, your personality. I like the way, you carry yourself, very successful. You can add all these things to that. But at the end of the day, I'm not investing in a woman that I'm not sexually attracted to, and or I'm just not planning on having sex with. Planning, not saying it'll happen. It's not too many guys that's 10 for 10 or whatever. But you still have that idea, even if it don't work out and you get a woman on a date and you find out she trash. The first idea was like, man, she attractive. I want to sneak in. But now that I see that she trash, I'm going to go ahead and take my business elsewhere. Does that make sense? We got to be realistic here. Let's see here. Quee said, according to Kendra's show, they would say, no, it doesn't matter. Oh, it does. Ron Alexander said, I remember this post. Couldn't believe this happens. Yeah, it happens. People, they continue to have sex with the person that they know so they can manipulate the other one to get what they want, the new person. Women are notorious for this, guys. Most men aren't in a space to where they're able to do that. Most men don't have women on standby to just have as sexual partners. So that's why I say women do this notoriously, because they always got, men who are orbiting around. Maybe alphas, betas, whatever y'all want to call it. You know what I'm saying? They always got men that they can go back to. It's always going to be a couple of dudes that know how to hit that woman's spot. I just had an older woman say this. She was telling people, don't worry about my ex. You ain't got to worry about him. Just focus on what we doing, because he just know every woman got that dude that know how to hit that spot. And I'm trying to educate you guys. I'm not coming at this from an adversarial perspective or approach, in regards to receiving pushback by saying, no, this doesn't happen. Trust me, guys. I did very well in the dating market. So I wouldn't sit here and tell y'all no lies. And I've already provided you proof saying that women can do this. And any men in the chat that has been great with women, tell them that you always have some women that you can call or fly out that's real, willing and ready to sneak in. And this even, and I hate to say this, even women who have went on and gotten married, they will reach out to you still in their marriage. And if you were that guy that hit the spot right, she will be ready and willing to come meet that guy. Oh, I'm in town. You know what I'm saying? What's up? So y'all can push back and, oh, I don't want the same thing. My hands are clean. I told you, if you get used on the dating market or you get the wool pulled over your eyes, I'ma just don't come on here talking about, yeah, you was true. I should have listened to you before. All right. I ain't gonna rub it in your face, but pause. But it is what it is. Let's see here. Biggie Sharp said, just because you take a different route to get something doesn't mean you are different because you went a different way to get there. Yeah, we all trying to get to the same common goal, right? Let's be honest here, brothers. We put things in the place to where our minds won't be clouded and jaded by the idea of having sex with new women all the time. But vagina feels good. Is that shocking? It will be different if a man was a virgin and you ain't never had sex before. You don't know what the hell you missing. It's just like me. If I never tasted pizza before and somebody is sitting there like, man, what? You don't eat pizza? I'm like, no. And then they ask me, have you tasted before? I'm like, no. It's like, well, shit, that's why it's easy for you to not eat pizza, because you don't know how good it tastes. Same thing with sex. So as a man, once you get a piece, you know what I'm saying, of that thing, and you slide in, it's done for you. You're going to have to put things into place to make sure that it doesn't take over your mind. And that's why these spaces are here, to encourage men to not be moved by vagina. Yes, you want it, but make sure that you're the best man possible so you can attract women instead of chasing women, right? So yeah, once you get a piece, it's done, bro. It's, it's curtains for you. Turn off the lights. Oh, man. Truest dude. I said, yo, what up, media man? What up, chat? Like the stream as you come in. Thank you, brother. Good to see you here. Hannah Ford said, all right, greatness, rest in greatness, Uncle Kevin Samuels. Man, like I said, Kevin showed y'all. So Quee says, these men are probably not going to see themselves as part of the problem. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So Ron Alexander said Mona counts as one of the 2 women who watch it. Yeah. IQS said Ron Alexander, Mona has troll accounts too. So there's the 2. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Thanos was right, said men can compartmentalize sex and relationships. Usually men can divorce feelings from sexual acts. Most of the time, if a woman is having sex with a man, their feelings are involved. Yeah, and I agree, men can compartmentalize sex. Like, we can be in a loving relationship. Women don't understand this. And I see some dumbass people like Charlemagne the God going on panel shows and on his on the Breakfast Club saying that it's because men have, it's their egos or they're insecure. So they're looking for another woman to have sex with because they're insecure. It ain't got shit to do with that. Men just like sex and we like new pussy. It is what it is. The only reason why men are monogamous is because we don't want to hurt the women that we're with. Because if you're married and you cheat, you know that will hurt the woman that you're with, no matter if she stays with you or not, in regards to these high value man conversations. And I told you guys to watch out for that, because that woman will never look at you the same if you're going to use the excuse, I'm making all this money, I'm paying all the bills, and you're going to leave me because I cheated? And she going to be pissed off at you, but then she stays, but she will never see you the same way. And I try and beat that into men's heads, because y'all running around here thinking that women won't change after you cheat on them. They will. They absolutely will, even if they stay. And I just proved that in regards to the DJ Envy and his wife situation. So that's why I'm saying it's your women don't understand that you're being faithful for yourself, because there are some women out there that are under the impression that as soon as a man get married, he stops seeing other women attractive. He stops finding other women attractive. He stops finding other women that he wants to have sex with. That's the dumbest thing ever. Men gonna always find women attractive, no matter if he's married or not. But he's faithful because he's trying to prove to himself that he can be a good man. And he's trying to prove to himself that he can be a good man to his wife, the one that he honors. Okay? So it ain't got nothing to do with being insecure. It's the fact that some men, they fall into the trap of, hey, I'm going to pursue this new vagina and I'm going to fuck it. It is what it is. Ain't no insecurities about it. He can go right back home and still take care of his wife. You know what I'm saying? And have fun with the kids, bouncing on knees and shit. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the football. And he just got done in some sweet walls. So it ain't got nothing to do with him being insecure. It's the fact that a man's sexual drive is a little bit different than women's. It is what it is. Trying to educate y'all. Lord. I think it's the first time I said I'm trying to educate y'all. But the dating market, yeah. I mean, some of these conversations that I see on YouTube are very elementary to me. Because I'm telling you, I didn't done it all. So it is what it is. So Thanos was right. Okay, I got that one. My bad. Oh, man. Mr. Walker, my guy, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. He said, respect, good brother. Appreciate the $10 super chat, man. I'm definitely going to be over there a little bit more, man. Thank you. Man, I got to update. I'm being slow. Hold on. Don Jeter, the big joker, cold name. Mr. Walker, I see you had to leave that BS also. Uh-oh, what I missed. Don Jeter, the big joker, said that was depressing. Let's see here. Neville Hirschfield said you watched that game 4. Yeah, I sure did. I got a video that I'm going to put up here in a second. That was a heck of a game. It was, man. I was proud of the Lakers. Definitely proud. So let's see here. Quee said religious belief will guide our selection and using the gift. Cool. Internet passport. I still battle with trying to help our women, but it's hard when they discount facts, data, and statistics. It's tough, man. I definitely feel you. Generation love, multiply righteousness and purpose. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I said, there's some people that I actually admire, those men and women that are able to just quote scriptures, because I'm reading the Bible now. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do this, because mostly my mind in regards to, intellectual things, it revolves around the medical field, public health, the gym, fitness, nutrition, old Laker history, and my girl and my daughter. So yeah. And then the YouTube channel, so on and so forth. But for those folks that can just sit there and in Deuteronomy, that's a code. I like that. Deuteronomy verse, I'm like, how do y'all do that? From years ago in the church, I'm pretty sure. I'm definitely pretty sure. Are studying. Let's see here. Don Jeter said, Media Man, a random question. You Sunni Muslim? No. And a lot of people get that mistaken, because I spend a lot of time in UAE, because for one, my brother, he actually lives there. So I spend a lot of time out there, and every time I go, I visit the Grand Mosque so I can pray. I have so much respect for the Muslim faith. Those brothers, like I've said this before, the organization, it's something to admire. It definitely is. So I do spend a lot of time in the UAE. I will be there this year, of course, once again. So you will see more videos of me at the Grand Mosque and praying. Something that I have to do every year. So, and again, let me say shout out to my mother, my single mom, raised. She was the one that instilled religion into me. I would hope that I'm doing her a service. God rest her soul. If anything, she taught me to believe in God, and it's grounded me, so much so that it's protected me over the multiple deployments that I've went on, and so on and so forth. So, man, I love my mother. God rest her soul, and thank her for instilling this into me. And I wish I would have been a little bit more closer to the Lord while she was here. But sometimes in the military, it's tough. And that's why we're here. So yeah, so let's keep going. Let's see here. Dante Bryant says, it's different because men don't get physically, emotionally, and spiritually attached. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I agree. Quee said, Media Man, not saying you have to have sex, but doing it in the confines of marriage is what I meant. Oh, okay. And not to be led to engage in it to satisfy a primal urge. Yeah, I agree on all fronts, brother. I'm just trying to clarify some things. See, generation love, sex after marriage, no date in about a year and a half, semen retention, sex after marriage, no date in about a year and a half, semen retention. Are you saying you had sex after marriage? Are you on a semen retention journey? And I discussed that a while back. But yeah, so remember, we have to live. I mean, we have to see the world as it is and not how it should be. How it should be would be that everybody has sex until they're married, and they only had sex to procreate. But in the world that is, it's not happening. Is that fair to say? Y'all let me know. So, I mean, yes, I would love it to be happy, but it's not happening. So, sheesh. All right, let me get to some of these super chats we'll be going over. That True Seeker, what's going on with the $5 super chat? Said I read books like Power of the Pussy and the Sprinkle Sprinkle Ladies book. It tells women to always date and have multiple women on standby. Yes, and if you guys don't know, I did read Sheba Seven's book, the Sprinkle Sprinkle book. It's on Amazon if you guys don't know, and we're going to be reviewing that Monday. You know, I'm an asshole when it comes to this shit, so I'm gonna do my research for y'all guys, so you won't have to do it. I read the whole book. It's noted, it's cited. I have my talking points. And like I said, all this stuff is for us to consume and learn from. So that's why I don't fault Sheba 7 for doing what she's doing, because it's like giving y'all a test with an open book. How can you fail now? Right? So that's why I love these spaces. Even the stuff that I say, when I'm using these manipulation tactic type examples, I got about 20% of women that's watching the channel. So they're probably taking notes like, oh, okay, cool. And hopefully it will help them. And hopefully the stuff that I say about women will help you guys. And the stuff that Sheba 7 says may be some foolery, but listen, why wouldn't you? You know, I'm not saying that you got to sit there and go subscribe and stuff, but if you want to know thy enemy, if that's the case, then you better start listening to him. I'm trying to help you out. So let's see. Oh man, man, another one, a $20 bomb, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Walker. You the guy, man. Yeah, y'all bless you, boy, man, on this last show. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Mr. Walker. $20. He said, cook. And we got IQS. Let me go and update that. I know I'm slow, man. My bad, y'all. Jesus. Wait, hold on. Because we get to talking, man. I love talking about dating from a realist perspective, you know, and also glass half full. So I have to stop myself sometimes, you guys, from talking about dating, because I have so much information to share, and it may be troubling to some, you know, for some to hear. But then when you look out there and you be like, well, shit, that does make sense what Medium Man says. So, and then it's backed up by facts and statistics. And I'm going to give you an explanation why. Hold on. That's so Quiet Storm. I'd make sure I get the name perfect. There you go, brother. Thank you, man. How you doing? And then we got Queese with the $20 super chat. Said, Medium Man, generally speaking, you are right. Hooping in college and the Air Force, I saw all kinds of mess. I realized that nature is a strong motivator for most, and without guidance, it's the Wild Wild West in the dating market. It is, man. You know, and amidst that Wild Wild West of dating, we task you guys who want to get married to find a wife in this Wild Wild West. And we also task women to find a husband in the Wild Wild West of dating. And it's tough. And I just want people to understand that, especially guys that are my age, we need to start understanding these young men a little bit more, because we'll use our examples from the olden days and try and put the same expectations on the men of today. You can't do that. The dating market has drastically changed from when we were running around being young Thundercats chasing women. So it's a foul on us if we're older men and you're sitting there, nah, brother, you saying that you ain't getting married because ain't no good women? Well, you need to go out there and find one. They everywhere. How the F you know? You're not walking in these young men's shoes. I can't even put myself into their category because social media wasn't even as rampant as it is now. The height of the black wars and relationship wars wasn't at the height that it is now. So that's why I have to ground old heads, and that's including myself, to sit back and listen and stop using our old ass examples of when women was cool with black men like that. Because today it don't seem like they like us. It don't seem like they like the young men. Their expectations are different, even though they haven't changed. Men haven't changed. Still want the same thing, but women have. So for us as old guys to be sitting there trying to condemn men for saying, I'm going to go overseas to find a wife, or I'm going to remove myself from the black dating market because these women don't value us. And we as men, old men, gonna sit there and say, "Oh man, you a simp. You weak." No, ain't got nothing to do with being weak. So it has everything to do with them brothers being smart. And men know how to, mitigate risk. So shout out to these young dudes out here, man. Listen to them and stop sitting there being stuck in your ways. Stop being hard headed, man. We too grown for that. We didn't seen everything, and honestly, a lot of this shit is our fault because we as older men didn't speak up when we had the chance to do so. We just sit back and let it cook and let these lies about black men spread. So the shit that we didn't speak up about, the young guys are feeling the effects now. And now you got guys like me that have to go back there and do the research and try and change black women's minds when we know that may not happen for the next 50 years. So we take some of that responsibility. We take some of that blame. So shut the hell up talking about these young men and start looking at us because we fucked up. Okay? It's stupid, man. See, Thanos was right. It said this is two separate issues from a biological perspective where animals that are driven to have sex philosophically abstaining could benefit your life. Men's biology is often demonetized. Yeah, it is. But like I said, abstaining could benefit your life. I discussed that. We had all types of live streams about prostate cancer, about the STI rates, so on and so forth. To put things into perspective, I even actually did a heart disease live stream just based off of that. We know what happens when people abstain from sex. But remember, the world that is and not how it should be. So we have to think about ways to mitigate risk. And that's why I said that I have faith in black men, because I know, looking at the statistics, 54% of black men don't have children. And of the 46% that do, y'all understand that 36% of black men are married. So what does that tell you? Either black men don't have kids, which boils down to protecting their seed, right? Or they're married when they have kids, the majority of them. So that's why I trust black men on the dating market to do what's right when it comes to protecting themselves from having unwanted children and also protecting themselves from diseases, because heterosexual black men come in third in regards to the new HIV rates. You have homosexual black men, then you have black women, heterosexual black women, and then you have heterosexual black men. So that's why I trust black men to be smart with the information that I'm giving them in regards to having sex while dating, because they've been doing it and they ain't need me to tell them. I'm just reminding you guys of how well you're doing. Does that make sense? So yes, black men, stand the F up. You're doing well. Okay? Queen said they're not everywhere. I'm trying to tell these old dudes. Joel Penniger says exactly. It's always the OGs that have been married for 20 years acting like they know what we go through. They don't. We don't. If I didn't have this platform, I wouldn't have had a reason to even look into what the hell is going on. I probably would have had the same outlook as these OGs. And that's wrong of us. We should be able to do the research and look outside of our box to understand what the young men are dealing with so we can actually try and help, instead of blaming you guys for, thinking or feeling the way you feel, or thinking or knowing the way you what it is out there on the dating market. And that's the problem. We cannot have old heads and young dudes arguing amongst each other. We need to come together and understand what the differences are and then work towards a solution. And that's why I support the Password Bros. Them brothers, they didn't take long to figure it out. And they got on their, horse in the sky and decided to go overseas. It's like, man, I ain't taking this shit no more. And their brothers, hey, they out. So, oh man. They're like, man, it is what it is. Y'all can deal with this shit if you want to. We gone. So We got Mona in the building, man. And we spending a lot of time. This may be a long form show. Hopefully, y'all don't mind me talking. So let's see here. Thalai spiritual. You have lost your emotional and professional life because of spiritual blockages. I just want your man. This is another. Let me block you. Some old foolery. Oh man. Okay, let's see here. We got Benny from Boston, my guy, with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, good brother. Good to see you back here. Let's see here. Did I get all the super chats? Jay says, salute to the password, bro. it's just funny, man. And the people talking about they ran away, old heads. They ran away from the United States. These brothers did not run. They didn't run from nothing. They made a educated decision. Ain't no running from nothing. They walked. They walked to the airport and got on that damn plane. Ain't no running. Generation Love. I too work in the professional healthcare space. Women are still women tied to the digital leash and constantly scrolling for validation and the next sexual option to manipulate their trauma. I mean, hey, they got to deal with it one way or another on the front end or the back end. The front end is kids. The front end is catching the disease that, they can't get rid of. The back end is all that hoeing that you did in your past may catch up to you, and maybe the reason why you can't pair bond or find a husband. Women understand this now. They listen to our content because they complain about it. They know, and they just don't care. And at that point, who are you as a man to sit there and try and scold a grown-ass woman who understands the content, but just don't care? That's why I think I was one of the first that was saying, hey, man, I don't think 3 out of 4 black women want to get married. And this was like 3 years ago. And y'all see where we're at now. They'll tell you straight in your face, smack in your face. Hey, no, everybody don't want to get married. At that point, useful to the group. Let's stop. Queen said divorce made me see what was really out there in mass. That is, I'm 49 and I feel for these young brothers and for the good young women who caught in the crossfire. Yeah. And especially for the good women, because there are some women out there, some black women that are good women. I 100% stand by that. But the loudest ones in the room are now the majority. It used to be the minority. And that was 3 years ago. I remember I used to say that on my platform. I would say it's the loud minority of women that's causing all the ruckus in the black dating market. But now that minority has turned into the majority. And for that small group of good women that were quiet, are complacent, are stood idly by and didn't check those women that were talking mess about black men, now y'all feeling the effects of it. And it showed up in the new marriage rates. It's almost crazy to think that black men, over 20% of black men are married to non-black women. Over 20% of married black men are married to non-black women. That's 1 out of 5. That's crazy. I mean, I'm just going to tell y'all right now. And black women will see that and still you say, I'm not bothered. 1 out of 5 of your men are married to another race of women. Okay. Biggie Sharp said, we let that negativity go for 50 years. It's going to take 50 years for men checking this negativity before it's corrected. I'm an old head with the 9-year-old son. I watch this content to help out my son. Yeah, man. And like I said, Biggie Sharp, and with the guys that I had consults on Sunday, I had 3 consults. Amazing conversations, right? And I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm learning with you guys as well. Because I literally would have been in the same place as the typical old head and not understand your experience. I would have tried to invalidate your experience. But if I didn't have this channel and did the research and start watching some of these videos, I mean, the writing is on the wall. You have to acknowledge it. We got to do that. And I'm spending a lot more time in the chat because it's the end of the month and you guys know how I do. So let's see here. We got Sergeant 144. Salute from Germany, one of my favorite countries to visit. He said, glad I'm gone. that brother gone. Kenny Peoples, what's going on? He said, good evening, sir. Oliver said, passport equals tactical retreat. Hey, they gone, man. Skinny Boy 20. What's going on, brother? He said, I used to get mad, but now I'm glad they're putting a red flag on their forehead. Let us know who to stay away from. Yeah, and that's the purpose that you can kind of use these spaces for. Like these women, they'll acknowledge the fact, how they feel. And it's like, hey, it is what it is. Jay Kerr says, password bro equals action, community equals talk a lot and not do anything, man. And that's why I said it's kind of one of the most successful groups that the Black community has seen, because we see that the effects of it. The brothers were engaging in conversations when the password bro conversation was going around, when it was first at the height, at the peak. They engaged with people. They went on panel shows. They talked about it. They battled. But moving forward, and I think this started to happen at the end of 2003, they're just leaving. And they're just creating content, trying to encourage other men to do the same. So it is what it is. I don't know what else to tell you. Let me see. Let me get one more before we get into the next topic. What's the next? Oh, yeah, this is good. The Glow. What's going on, Glow? Said Queese, constantly scrolling, self-defeat when you don't pull the fist that you want, scrolling through women want to get off their disrespect off on me. Yeah, the clarity is amazing. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, Rob Nice said K-Town was a beast in Germany. Yeah, I spent a good amount of time in K-Town. K-Town, if you guys don't know, it's Kaiserslautern, Germany. It's right next to Ramstein Air Force Base. So that's why, most people who are in the military and you ever been to Germany or stationed there, K-Town is a spot where, all the women, I don't know how it is now, but that's where all the women used to be. And you could buy a little bit if they were selling a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. So let's see. So yeah, man. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that chat interaction, because I got a lot, man. My bad. Truest dude just sent the $10 super chat, said a little something for the private jet for him, brother. I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see Truest dude back up in here. All right. So this one is something that I wanted to address. And I swear I was about to comment under this woman's page, but I was like, man, I ain't doing that foolery. I was going to try and be respectful. I was like, nah, she already got an audience of women that just hate Black men, man. And this is a young woman, Amani Speaks, and it's funny that these types of content creators, they'll have all this smoke for Black men, but then when you ask them, hey, you know what I'm saying? So it seems like you hate Black men. Oh, I don't hate Black men. It's so funny. I love it, man. I love how they do that. They just try and make it seem like they're just speaking the truth. And that's why you have me here. So I'm going to let you guys listen to her latest video. And then you tell me how you feel first. And then we'll go into some of the fallacies that she said. Well, matter of fact, listen to if you hear a common narrative that's spread in these spaces that I've already debunked. Here we go.
Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's divorce and marriage is a perfect example of why I always have told Black women, don't worry about these Black men that say that they don't date Black women or they always marry and date outside their race. Don't worry about them, because they can't even treat their preference with preferential treatment.
So I guess, the Black men who date outside their race, Black women, I just learned this, mind you, they say that other races of women are their preference. So she's saying that Black men can't treat their preference right. And if you guys don't know what's going on with Jeannie Mai and Jeezy, they're getting a divorce. Jeannie Mai is coming up with all this foolery to shame Jeezy, young Jeezy. And it's funny that I've never heard anything negative about young Jeezy until he got with Jeannie Mai. Now all of a sudden this dude swings on women. He running around here brandishing a firearm, alienating the child. I've never heard anything negative about young Jeezy in these spaces. You guys may be may be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time I've heard anything negative attached to him. And that should tell you guys something as well. But yeah, but she's calling him the preference. But let's continue.
These other women are getting the same exact black man, okay? They are not unlocking some other part of him. They're not his preference. They like, if they were his preference, he would treat them a little bit better. But they don't. Like, they get the same man, so don't worry about it. And even when you look at the stats, when a black man marries outside his race, his chance of divorce is so much higher.
You hear it? Every time. And like I said, black women, they keep parroting this information, this false ass information. You think I'm lying? Hold on. Let her finish. Let me show you something real quick.
Than if he would have just married inside his race, or even when a black woman marries outside of her race.
Look, you hear that? The same talking point, the same video, that same made up ass divester picture of the 400% of black men get divorced and so on and so forth. So y'all have heard this before, right? And guess who else shared that same video from that same white man that put out that video talking about my sister? Look at this.
White guys view black women differently than black guys. And these statistics don't lie.
You see that woman down there? Let me know if y'all recognize her. Let's continue.
Interracial divorce rates. This is pretty interesting. A black man and a white woman are 200% more likely to be divorced. An Asian man and a white woman are 59% more likely to be divorced. An Asian woman and a white man are 4% more likely to be divorced. But this is the crown of the study. A white man and a black woman are 44% less likely to get divorced. Pretty interesting, isn't it? My sister.
My sister. Yeah, there is. So I already debunked this. Everybody didn't damn debunk this. But black women still running around there saying the same thing. But let me put that
White
back up here real quick.
Black women
and pause it. So you guys see that woman down there? Y'all know who that is? I didn't know this. Look at down there and see who shared the video. Do y'all recognize her? No? That is Coaching with Dr. Alicia. That is Boyce Watkins' wife. Yeah, that's Boyce Watkins' wife sharing this false information to her followers. Isn't that crazy? And I was like, I can't believe this doctor didn't do her research, because she's trying to get the support from black women by feeding them this lie. And like I said, I don't need to go over this again. I have multiple videos about this. I actually posted it and tagged her on this video to explain to her that, hey, this is false information. It's already been debunked. You guys know that black women are the most divorced and the least married, no matter who they marry. And black men do not get divorced more than when they're with a white woman or whoever else, right? It's black women across all boards. So the same thing that the young Imani Talks is parroting is the same video that Dr. Boyce Watkins' wife is spreading to her followers. You see how that works? The Imani Talks girl, she has to be in maybe, let's say, her mid-20s, right? Dr. Alicia, I'm pretty sure she's in her 50s. So you got two generations of women spreading false information to their black female followers. So you see why this stuff is going to take a long ass time. It's going to take a long time for black women to understand, because no matter what age, they still believe it. And they won't do research because it's coming from a white man. That's crazy, right? You see how I put that? I'm pretty good at what I do. So pretty good at what I do. But in regards to the, Imani Talks, I want to address some of her points. I like the fact that she's encouraging her followers to just leave black men alone and don't worry about the black men who date outside their race, because she's under the impression that those black men treat all of their non-black wives wrong or poorly. So her saying that, then hopefully that's another group of black women that's just gonna believe the lie, right? And leave black men alone and let them do what they need to do. So I agree with her on that. Second, in regards to her saying that, we covered the falsity or the lie about black men and women or whatever, but her speaking on the Jeannie Mai situation. And I want to tell you guys this. We just talked about vetting. Maybe for the last 2 live streams, we talking about doing proper vetting on a woman and so on and so forth. And of course, what happened to Jeezy and what he's going through is rather unfortunate. But this is actually a lesson that a lot of men can learn from. Jeezy didn't do his proper vetting. And even though he acknowledged what I'm about to show you guys, he overlooked it and thought that he was, I guess, man enough to deal with it or change Jeannie Mai's mind in regards to him being a black man and her dealing with a white man prior to. And if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, it's Jeannie Mai's comments in regards to white meat and dark meat. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this is where the vetting starts.
Loved black guys. Yeah, I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. That's why I
Did you hear what she said? She said, I love black men, but for me, white or dark meat on the side, white, I love white men, white meat or whatever, right? So the way the black community took it was like, yeah, I'm just going to use black men for, their dicks, right? And for sex. But white men, those are the men that I'm going to settle down with. And I hate to burst black men's bubble. A lot of non-black women do this, right? Because black men, we are known for having like the best sex and, the largest Johnsons, so on and so forth. That's what we're known for. Other women want to find out, so they will have sex with black men just to see if it's true. And most of the time, it's true, right? It is what it is. But for a lot of non-black women, and this can be looked at in the Dating Divide book, they don't marry black men because they see white men as the ones that have the most money and they have the most resources. And they're actually right, because of the fact that this is a predominantly white country, predominantly white men. So not just mainly Hispanics and Asian women decide to marry white men for that particular reason. But for black men, it's different. When we're in the dating phase, most men don't care why they're getting sex from a woman. They're just happy that they're getting sex from the woman. So they don't see it as being objectified. They don't see it as being fetishized. Men, the fetishization of men is different than women. Women don't want to be a fetish. That's why you get a lot of big girls pushing back and saying that, oh man, I'm a man's preference, I'm not a fetish. But no, they literally have clubs out there that are geared towards BBW women and the men that like them. So they're a fetish. Black men are a fetish to a lot of groups of non-black women. We accept it, we get the booty, we move on. So it is what it is. So I just want to be clear on that. But that was her comment. But the black community ran with it, and they didn't actually get a chance or even listen to her explain what she actually meant. And I understood it, but most of us didn't. And she's going to explain why. So here we go.
married white man. That's what I like.
Explain what you mean.
Okay,
what you meant.
What I meant is I used to date black men. Okay, and I think they're attractive. But what I decided to stick to, because it just kept me happiest, was my man Freddie, who happens to be white.
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay. They're blue eyes.
And you like black rappers?
I like a good brother. I do. I think they're cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I said on this show that somebody said white meat somewhere, and I was like, yeah, I like white meat, but I like my dark meat on the side.
Yeah, you
right?
did.
I remember that.
Yes, you did.
It was
yes,
horrible.
You did.
It was
Show
horrible.
said it.
And what I thought in my mind, again from here to here,
Right.
I thought like, I'm married. I can't have any kind of
Right.
other
You
guys.
like a side
so
of
on
black
the
men.
side, like whether it's on the show, I meet like great guys that I'm like, wow, I used to crush on you, whatever. That's on the side because I'm married. I can't have that.
So hopefully y'all understood what she was trying to say. When she first said the statement, she was trying to big up her husband, who was white at the time. So she was basically trying to say or explain that, hey, I do like black men, but now I'm with a white man, so I can't sit here and say that I'm crushing on black men. So I'm going to one up him or big up him for being the man for me because I decided to marry this white man. That's what she actually meant, right? Instead of, she didn't mean it like I like black dick. You know what I'm saying? And, and I only use them for that. I'll never marry a black man because of what. No. That wasn't her case. In other situations, yes, this is absolutely true. A lot of non-black women do this. They fetishize black men. Black men in general don't see it as that. As long as you the preference and you get sex, we don't care. Most of them don't, right? Unless you one of these dumbass black dudes is getting called a slave, in the bedroom by these white women, and y'all some corny ass brothers. If that's you, I was going to use the N word, but you did what it is. But but yeah, so that's what she was basically trying to say. But even saying that is kind of suspect to me, and I think Jeezy did a poor job of vetting this woman prior to, because they did have the discussion, and Jeezy actually said that he sat down with her and she explained what she actually meant before they decided to get married. And she explained to him exactly how I just explained to you guys. It wasn't a shot at black men. She was just trying to be respectful to her white husband by saying, I'm not focused on black men because I'm married to a white man. Hopefully that makes sense. I know the black community likes to run with these narratives that the woman was trying to say this, but in this case, she wasn't. However, I still wouldn't have trusted it. So I'm not sitting there I'm not going to say that Jeezy deserves what he's going through. Absolutely not. Because what she's doing, in my opinion, is wrong. Because he's the one that filed for divorce. And now she's trying to slander his name when all this stuff, everything was perfect before, the divorce was filed. Did y'all ever hear anything about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy in the, in the news for having a poor relationship, poor marriage? No. Everything from what they shared, they were always at functions, dressing very nice. Everything seemed fine, but now things changed. I wonder why. That court of public opinion is an MFer, especially when it's against men. And Jeannie Mai, she works in the industry, so she knows that, right? So yeah, so that was one thing that I wanted to address. And let me get a couple of comments here real quick. Make sure you guys send in the super chats because I want to keep the show going, but I will. Let's see here. Glow said, Queez, of course they didn't. They hate black men. Yeah. And like I said, and the sister said nothing. Queez said, Project Leroy said, all the black women knew what she meant. Yeah, but again, anything that, because they framed it as Jeezy overlooked her being racist. And she wasn't trying to be racist, guys. But like I said, I still wouldn't have trusted it. But she was, I could, in my opinion, she wasn't trying to be racist at all. So let's see here. Okay. Thanos was right. Said everyone fetishizes us, even our women. Do black women value us for anything other than sex, money, too, I guess? I think we want to think anybody cares about us for other aspects of our character. Yeah, and I've already said that, Thanos. Yeah, that ranks high on black women vet men like men vet women, if that makes sense. Because we vet women based off of looks, right? Looks first. Yes, we want a good woman. She has to have character, nurturing, so on and so forth. Fit, feminine, and friendly. But if she don't foot the bill in regards to, if she don't look the part in regards to the attractiveness department to you, because that is subjective or objective, objective opinion. Everybody has their own idea of what a good woman looks like or attractive woman looks like. So in order for a man to move further, she has to meet his standard of beauty. Does that make sense? So we start there. And that's why, Chris Rock said, hey, if, when you tell your guys, I met a new woman, we ask, how does she look? When women tell their girlfriends, I met a new man, they ask, what does he do? What is his job? How much money does he make? Every other woman well, let me back that. I think every other woman of any other racial group, they start to do away with that type of thinking in regards to a man has to be attractive earlier than black women. And that's out of respect, because I know, I've dated women of other races, and when they're younger, most women don't care about, a man's upward trajectory. Most women. And so other races of women, they understand that earlier. Like, man, okay, now I got to stop having sex with these guys for frivolous reasons. He attractive, and that's all it takes. Now I got to try and lock down a husband. Black women, they keep that same mindset throughout their whole dating and marriage lives. Seriously. Y'all think I'm lying? Go back and watch some of Kendra G's shows, Kevin Samuels shows. Black women get on there at 50, 60 years old, and the first thing they talk about is he can't have ED. He can't have erectile dysfunction because I still like to get my own. And Kendra G would say, oh, you still want to have good sex? And yeah, girl. So yeah. So out of respect for black women, I won't say that you guys are different from other races of women, but you guys do tend to keep that way of thinking longer than other races of women. And you can, if you think that I'm wrong, black women, then you do the research and you tell me, what do you see out here? Right? So that's why I said our women vet a little bit different, because typically women, when it's time for them to get married, yes, they want their man to be attractive. That will be a plus, but they also think about other things. Like, man, is he able to withstand a good lifestyle and so on and so forth? But like I said, black women keep that mindset well into their 60s, 70s, whatever it is. And this is shown in the children out of wedlock, numbers, right? 70% for black women. That's not just from women who are in their 20s. That's all the way up. Okay. So that number goes up to, like, I think is they take those statistics from the ages of 15 to 49, some 15 to 44. So there you have it. I mean, everything, that I'm saying here, I can quantify by referencing it to another, statistic. So trying to help out. So hopefully y'all understood that. Let's see here. Project Leader said dark meat on side mint. You would never be my preferred option. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't have trusted it either way. But Project Leroy said Jeezy lied to himself and walked into that trap. But remember, Project Leroy, this is a vetting lesson that men can learn. And it's just like another lesson that I think black men need to understand, and I keep telling you guys stop doing that, is stop letting these black women who obviously hate black men sit on the fence. And I've said this in multiple videos. You'll get these black women who are openly divestors, but they'll say, if a suitable black man comes along, I'll take him. And I see black men in the comment section, yeah, sister, don't give up on us. We still out here. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? She's gone now. She don't get that chance. Stop giving these women an out. If they say that black men are subpar, but they're still trying to keep their options open just in case, super N-word comes around. And she's like, oh, now I can get with this black man, even though I spent years and years of degrading black men. Now I want to be with one. No, she don't get that chance. Once she has shown you her cards on social media, black men should be, taking notes, so to speak. Like, okay, you said this. Okay, you're out. All black men should do this and let them fend for themselves with other races of men. She's their problem now, not black men. Okay? So that's why I tell you guys, you got to stop doing that. Mr. Tolbert said, I will take 5 that's on my program than an 8 who isn't. Man, exactly. You know, and let me, and 2, I'll leave it at that. I ain't going to bring that up. Thanos was right, said black women don't switch thinking until it's too late. Yeah, you know, and that's why the narrative of waiting at the finish line is, you know, going around. And the first time I actually heard that was from Rich Cooper from Entrepreneurs in Cars. He said, women don't, and I hate misquoting the brother, but he says something like women don't want to go for the ride or go on the ride. They just wait at the finish line and F the winners. So something of that. So that's why you get this narrative of waiting until the finish line. Hell, even Dr. Umar just said that. He's been going viral recently because of this whole NBA or NFL draft situation that's going on. Because he said that black women wait until black men are ready made and they're not there and trying to cultivate a relationship in college, which is what the white women are doing. So Queen said, defense centers. Project Libra Facts Media Man. There's always the Dr. Umars who tell us to go be with them. No, they don't have. That's good black men, aware black men are no longer an option for them, and there should be. And I wish it was that way. I wish more black men would smarten up and understand that. But, and I'm glad I took that that break in between the Amani Talks video and the My Sister video, because I looked in her comment section, and that's where the money is made. I love looking in the comment sections, and I saw this particular post from this young woman. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. All right. So I put a caption in there. I said, so now the new narrative about black men is that 92% of biracial children born to black men are in single households. This young woman says, and I'll make this a little bit wider for you guys so you can see it. She said, she put under Imani Talks post, she said 92% of biracial children are born to black men are in single households. Clock it. And somebody asked her, where did you get that information from? And she cited Scribd. If anybody has been to college, that website, anybody can put anything on Scribd, right? You could do that right now. You could put, go to the website right now, publish booty, and it'll be in there. But this is what she put. So you guys see, you kind of understand what I try and do here. I try and make sure we have this hub so you guys can pull from. I've never seen this narrative before. 92% of biracial children born to black men are in single households, single parent households. That's what she was trying to say. I was like, what? Where did y'all get this from? So, me being an asshole, I started to do a little research, as I always do. And I actually, circled it just to make sure that we see this. And this, like I said, somebody said, where can I read about this? I hope this is not true, because the F. And then she put it and they said, thank you. Again, they don't fact check. So let me show you what happened here. There was a divester. Once again, her name was Tiffany N. Calloway. She published this article, and it states 92% examining the birth trends, family structure, economic standing, paternal relationships, and emotional stability of biracial children with African American fathers. This was actually written or posted or published in 2015. And like I put here, I said, this is the author who made up the article and plagiarized from multiple sources. What do you mean, Medium Man? The Medium, ironically or not, they had to do a follow-up. And let me tell you why. They actually published her cited work on their platform, but they had to remove it and do a follow-up to explain what the hell happened, because they were ready to sneak in on black men. I said the Medium actually did an article about it. This article, this academic paper on biracial children with African American fathers is likely a fabrication. This was published in 2018. Said likely. Let me show you why. And also, look at this. It said it was downloaded nearly 7,000 times. And I'm pretty sure it's by black women who hate black men. This is what happened. They actually had to go back and review it. It said it appears that SSRN has removed the Callaway paper from their database. Now, I have published medical works on SSRN. I have articles on PubMed as well. I've actually peer-reviewed articles on PubMed as well, right? So when you get an article removed, it's basically saying that your shit is trash and you lied. She had her shit removed. Black women didn't do the research. They took that woman's word and they started to run with this narrative to the point of it being downloaded 7,000 times back in 2018. Again, black women, pay attention. I know y'all watching. So they said the update in 2018, and then in July of 2015, self-described independent, in quotations, researcher Tiffany Callaway published the paper, like I already read, at SSRN, the Social Science Research Network. The paper was apparently never peer-reviewed, nor was it published in any journal that I am aware of. Sure, hold on 1 second. I think I can go up. Let me go to the next one. Now, plagiarism. This is from the same Medium article. The percentages in their discussion appear to be the author's original work. However, there are several instances of plagiarism throughout the paper. In the introduction, several sentences are copied nearly verbatim from sources not cited by the author. Y'all know that's a no-no. Y'all been to college. You understand you cannot sit there and cite something word for word and not get dinged for it. You know what I'm saying? What was that? I've been to school since 2015. There's actually a computer program that they run it through to see if you actually plagiarize. What is it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let me continue. For example, the partial sentence, boys are raised in single-parent households, were more than twice as likely to be incarcerated compared with boys raised in an intact married home, appears in a 2012 article in Slate. And we covered that or whatever. So she plagiarized. That's another ding. Then it said, more troubling in the section marked emotional effects of fatherlessness. All 5 numbered sentences are plagiarized from a single webpage titled Statistics of a Fatherless America. This page is not cited, and the paper's entire bibliography consists of sources corresponding to the 5 sentences in the emotional effects section. Lord have mercy. And this was the discussion from the Medium after finding all this information. There it is. Look at this. One Titans. Turn it in. That's what it is. Grammarly, that's one that we can actually use. You can actually put your papers, if you guys don't know, you can put your papers through Grammarly and they will actually help you correct and, make sure you got everything in order. But yeah, Turn It In is the one that they put it through. So thank you. So the discussion that they had, it said, at best, this paper is an extremely sloppy piece of research. However, the blatant plagiarism indicates a tendency for the author to engage in unethical research practices. This author appears to have no other publications, and it seems extremely unlikely that an independent researcher would spend so much time and expense on a survey only to plagiarize essential elements of the paper, thereby calling the accuracy of this time-consuming effort into question. Further, the author appears to employ nonsensical statistical procedures, e.g., the averaging percentages. Finally, Although by no means conclusive, the paper contains numerous grammatical errors and awkward constructions that are seldom the hallmarks of a quality researcher. It should be noted that there is no contact information available for Tiffany Calloway at the SSRN website, so it was impossible to contact the author about this. Lord have mercy. Now, conclusions. This is key. Given the plagiarism discovered in this paper, the questionable study design and statistical anomalies, and the paper's direct and rapid spread to internet forums specializing in hate speech, it is extremely likely that this paper was fabricated in order to be used as propaganda against African Americans and, in general, interracial relationships in particular. Slip-hod research methodology, unethical research methods, and a hoax perpetrated for monetary gain, get that bread from black women, or some combination thereof cannot be ruled out entirely. My goodness. How many times have I got on here and told y'all it is so much money in lying to black women? That woman, Tiffany Calloway, probably got paid off that false article because black women were so happy that black men were supposedly doing poor with other races of women that they downloaded it probably 10,000 times now. If it's, every site that I tried to look for it, it said this page is no longer to be found. There you have it, guys. So if there are any black women that are watching, y'all need to be mindful of the women that you like to follow. And you also need to be mindful about these false narratives that's being spread about black men. Because this is the second woman that has spread a false narrative about black men and been caught. The first one was the one I just showed you. Black women running around here swearing that black men and non-black women marriages don't last. They've been running with this narrative for a while now. That was false. It's been debunked. This has been debunked. So y'all see a pattern, black women? Okay? Lord have mercy. And if you guys don't know, it was shared by multiple black women. Look, black women shared this article everywhere. Look at this. Lipstick Alley, 92% of mixed kids, African-American fathers, born out of wedlock. This was 2015. This woman says, congratulations, black men. First, y'all did it to black women. Now y'all doing this to white women. They deserve each other. You see? This woman, Truth Teller and Seeker, 2014, and is citing the new article. New study finds that 92% of black children, blah, blah, blah. I was on a black website called Media Takeout yesterday. Media Takeout actually shared this and saw a story about a study about biracial children with African-American fathers. The link to the study is here. This study is jaw-dropping and extremely infuriating, and the author wants to end the massive amount of money the public is paying for black men mistakes in parenting. The author of the study is trying to do a documentary about her finding, and I think we support her because anyone that can have black men that mad and wants to stop black men from ruining the other lives of our white daughters should receive our support. And then she actually had a GoFundMe up because black women, y'all got to be smarter than this, man. Y'all, you got to do better. God, dog. That woman set up a GoFundMe. Talking about she was going to make a documentary. This is the same thing that happened with the brick girl, Rhoda. She lied to y'all, and that woman, I shouldn't be laughing at this. God help me. But black women paid that woman via GoFundMe. because she lied about being hit by a brick from a black man. And she literally went on vacation to Jamaica, living it up. She in hot water now, but she spent that money. What was it? Upwards of $40,000 that she earned from black women? Lord have mercy. And it's crazy that black women don't see a trend. And I posted this on my Media Man TikTok page, and there was a black woman under there. I wouldn't necessarily say debunked. They just said it was likely fabric. Lady, oh my God. They are committed. They are committed to this lie. Jesus Christ. Here's another one. Her handle was Tired Sister, because I'm tired of being sick and tired of injustice. Some startling statistics. Are we really that surprised, though? On the plight of anti-black black men and white non-black women's abandoned biracial children. In my spare time, I like to lurk around the blogosphere to see what people are talking about, even those I do not agree with most of the time. I just happen to stumble upon even more black women empowerment blogger who posted the following journal about some startling statistics. I'm not really surprised about self-hating black men's, non-black women's, biracial children making up a large percentage of the U.S. foster care system, and how she says their attempt to pin this mess on black women. She shared it. This was in 2015. So yeah, it goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, it's what it is. Something wrong with these women, man. I think some of these black women need to be examined, starting with Amanda Seals. Look at this. Let me show you, and I just put this in there. This paper was published by Tiffany Calloway in 2015, debunked 2018, and yet black women who hate black men are still spreading this false information in present day. Embarrassing. And if you guys didn't know the actual statistics, now for the people that was saying this has already been talked about, people have already discussed this, media men. Why are you discussing it? Because I'm me. I'm him. When it comes to this statistical stuff. Let me give you an actual breakdown of how these interracial marriages shake out. So the total population of black adults. Black men who are currently in interracial marriages is at 21%. They have a divorce rate of 12%. Share of those married black men with a spouse present. The non-black single race was at 16%, then multiracial 61%, Hispanic 42%. So this is the black people. This is how it shakes down when it's broken down. So for those black men who are married, the not black single race, this is how it's separated. So not black single race is 16%. So the black men, the married black men who are married to interracial marriages, it's not black single race, which is just predominantly, let's say, white, Hispanic. That's there is 16%. And then some of their wives actually are multiracial. So they could be white, Hispanic. They could be, Asian, black. It is what it is, right? Multiracial. Then Hispanic only at 42%. So that's how these numbers shake out. Now, for black women who are currently in interracial marriages, it's only at 13%. Got it? The divorce rate, ironically enough, is at 20%. So what does that tell you guys? You remember that statement that I said that black women are the most divorced and the least married? Even when black women are married outside of their race to non-black men, hold on, they're married at a 13% clip, divorced at a 20% clip, which basically means not basically, it actually means that they are the most divorced and the least married when compared to black men in regards to interracial marriages. You got it? Cool. So all this talk about black men not being married to white women and no, this is the truth right now. I just fixed the narrative for you guys single-handedly. Share of married black women with a spouse present. Not black, single race. There you go, 7%. So only 7% of those black women who are currently in interracial marriages have a not black, single race rate of 7%. So let's just say white men are just strictly Hispanic. Then you have multiracial, 50%. Their husbands identify as multiracial. And then 35% of that 13% identify as Hispanic. Okay? And I'm glad you asked this. The Ting Boats. I like that name. Where are these numbers from? Yeah, I made them up. Now I'm just playing. I got y'all. I always do this for shock value. This is from General Demographics for Black U.S. Population 2022. Y'all see how I did that? And no, I didn't just stop there because you could just be writing this media, man. Bam. Pew Research Center tabulations of the 2022 American Community Survey. Directly from Pew Research. Here you go. About a sixth of married black adults, 17%, are married to someone who is not black. This includes 21% of married black men and 13% of married black women. These shares only consider those who are married and whose spouses live in the same households. So Ting Boats, I think that deserves a super chat for you because I answered your question, right? Married black women, in turn, are more likely than married black men to have a spouse who is also black, 87% versus 79%. This includes spouses who are single race, black, multiracial black, and black Hispanic. So all black men. So black women are married to black men married black women are married to black men at an 87% clip, even though they're trying their level best to marry white men, and black men are married to black women at a 79% clip. And then there's the graph for you guys to read right there. Black men in the U.S. are more likely than black women to be married to someone who is not black. And I actually even went a step further to share some more information with you guys, just to show you about the 4 in 10 black people who live in households headed by married couples. If you guys didn't know, let me show you something so we can stop this narrative of 70% of black children being raised in single black women parent households. It's not true. So about 4 in 10 black people in the U.S., 39% live in households that are headed by married couples. So that's 40%. Roughly 3 in 10 black people, 31%, live in households that is headed by a female. So that is a stark difference between this dumbass narrative of saying that black children are raised in 70% of single parent households. Absolutely not, guys. That children out of wedlock is not strictly from black men and black women having children, guys. Does that make sense? It's from black women having children by a small percentage of men, black men, and non-black men. So that's where you get the women births, not black couples. How else can I explain this? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Let me take a drink, man. People out there, 70%. No, put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. And then if you look here, it says live in households headed by female, and 5% live in male-headed households. Let me pull that back up. Let me see here. Okay, cool. E4 Dusty, thank you, brother. Okay, we got a lot of ones. One, skinny boy. Finger number 1. Cool. Just wanted to make sure we clear. Goodness gracious. Lord have mercy. And then it says 5% live in male-headed households. Fewer than 2 in 10, 16% are part of non-family households. So that could potentially be living with grandmom, a guardian, foster care, so on and so forth. So look, about 4 in 10. This is the graph that you guys can research for yourself. Of course, I did not make this up. Married couples said 39%. Female householder, this would be single parent households, 31%. Male, 5%, which is normal. So if you add female householder, male householder together in the Black community, that comes out to 36%. But that's still smaller, a smaller percentage than the 39% of Black children that grow up in married couple households. You get it? Non-family households, right there, 16%. And then a household that cannot be determined, that's at 9%. I'm not done. I'm definitely not done. Wait, I am done here. Let's go into something else. I know the passport people waiting on that. Let me show y'all something real quick. Hold on, we not done. I'm gonna pull up something for you guys. You probably, well, that could just be written, stuff from Pew Research. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. Here's the graph. And I'm gonna actually do y'all a solid. That's old head speak. If you watch blaxploitation movies, you see this right here. They actually tabulated all this stuff for you guys. And you know where you can find that information? I haven't got it highlighted. You guys see that at the top? Right here. In this little section right here, marital status, you can find all these figures. They actually even give you the whole numbers as well. You get all the information from here. Here's the marriage rates, spouse not Black, spouse Black Hispanic. I just made it easier for you guys because I took the information. Oh, you guys can see that. I'm tripping. I want to make sure you guys see this. At least get a little piece of it. You see that? So Media Men did not make up these numbers. Everything is right here. Pew Research, they did everything for you. If you want to find anything about the Black community that is as current as 2022, it'll even tell you the population of Black people in the specific states, the labor and force income, all this stuff. It's all here. But all you have to do is go to the general demographics, and it's right there. So if you have Google Docs, you guys will be able to look up this information for yourselves. Right here. And there's your spreadsheets for the Black community. So you can fact check my work because, I may be lying, right? No, I'm not lying. Oh, man, I can't wait to clip this one up because that just puts a dent in that damn narrative that Black men are more divorced. It is actually Black women. Oh, Jesus. I told y'all, man, this may be a longer show. I'm sorry. But I think it's worth it, man. So y'all hook a brother up, man. Make sure we get them cash apps and super chats in. Because this is information that people have probably never quantified. People may have talked about the lie about the 92% of biracial children, but did they go as far as to show you the actual statistics? Did you learn something new? Okay. So that's why I like to speak on these things because I kind of look at it different. You start with the introduction, and then you start with the meat of the conversation. Then you have the solutions, the problem solvers at the bottom. And that's what I just did for you guys. So you're welcome. Oh, man. Let's see. Leon OOA, what's going on? Say our people don't respect the STEM projectile / trajectory. They respect the entertainment and the results. Yeah, man. And that's why you got me here. And I seen some woman on a show. She was saying that it was something had to do with black women in STEM, and you guys already know that black men have more STEM degrees than black women. And she was saying, basically saying that black women have more STEM degrees than black men. I'm like, Lord have mercy. These narratives ain't gonna never stop, yo. Never gonna stop. And if you guys are wondering, I have a video on my page in regards to the STEM numbers. You can view it for yourselves. I'll clip it up or something like that. Because, you know, when I talk, my stuff is fact checked. But a white man can come on there and call y'all my sister and nobody bats an eye. Oh, that must be true. I mean, yeah, white man said it. It's cool. There's no knock against white men because they don't know how much power they have over black women. Some of them don't. Some of them do because they pander and they get that bread. But a lot of white men, they don't know how black women feel about them. So thank you, man, for breaking the drought, Rad Talk, with the 199 super chat. I do believe I'm cooking. He said, cook, chef. Sergeant 144 said, this man is cold. Yeah, man. Like I said, Sergeant, I don't care nothing about a woman's preferences. I don't care about them conversations. I just care about the truth. You woman come up here, be all of 400 pounds, and she tell me she a 10 and she want a man who makes $1 million a year. I'm going to laugh, but I don't care about that shit. Go your ass out there on the dating market and see if you can find that. That's not my concern. My concern is this stuff. So here we go. Let's see here. Reese Johnson, what's going on? Saying my question is, why do people keep comparing black men to black? You say black men to black women? Where does this stem come from? Man, they keep doing it. I don't know. It is what it is, man. I wish I had an answer for you, but black women love competing with us, and we trying to work. It is what it is. Thank you. Thank you. Now I see you, man. Say thank you, Truest Dude, with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. My man, Dante Bryant, with the $5 super chat, said good stuff. Thank you, good brother. Appreciate it. Queen said, dang, media man, numbers aren't supposed to make me sad. It is what it is, man. Thank you, Mona. Appreciate that. Mona in the building. Raphael Phillips said you need to become a school teacher. Man, so fun fact for military veterans and retirees, when you get your degrees and stuff like that, we have an easy pipeline to become like teachers, professors, whatever. It's called the Troops to Teachers program. Any of my veterans know about this, so I'm actually registered to be a teacher if I wanted to, right? I think it's some type of certification that you have to go through to teach. But yeah, it's always a possibility out there, man. Definitely is. So thank you. Let's see here. Jaguar Andy, what's going on? Say, hey, I'm late to the party. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, good brother? Thank you. Thank you. So now we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to get back to cooking and talk about some NFL draft and white girlfriends video. Lord have mercy. Okay, let's take a quick break right here, you guys, and I will be right back. And make sure hook a brother up, man. This is the end of the show. Y'all support me so far. We got so much more to cover. I'm gonna be here for a while, so thank you for the support moving forward. Here we go.
It's my fault, I should have been better. But I did all again, I swear. If I fall, you can call it the end of me. If I fall down, you can call it goodbye. It's hard to fit in when no one else can match it. I stay up my house, but I'm stuck in the castle. I just play it cool, I like to keep it casual. Grandma calls me handsome, so I know that that's true. It's hard to stay humble when they put you at the front of it all. Gotta learn to hold your tongue, that's why I always mumble when I talk. It's not my fault, I look good when I do what I do.
All right, we back to it, man. What's going on? Let's see here what we got in the chat. Let me give y'all some shine. I got that one. Thank you, brother. Let's see, Ron, my man Ron said the young men could definitely use a male teacher like Media Man. Oh, yeah, and I love doing my mentoring thing. Guys, I'm heavily active with the young men that I come across. So, yes, I would love to impact them more. And maybe some in the future when I get older, you know, and I'm on my second retirement. I get back out there. See, Raphael said you'll be a good ass teacher. Thank you, brother. Reese Johnson said, man, my friend just got falsely accused by a student. I can't even recommend men being teachers. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. That True Seeker said Dr. Umar is going to be pressed. Reese Johnson said investigation was completed and case was dropped. Oh, okay. That's good to hear. Blessed to him. Jaguar Anderson said, really, Reese, man, people seem to try to plot some wickedness these days. Yeah, men got to be on the lookout. Ron Alexander, all the playlists Media Man plays sounds like songs from his bedroom playlist. Hey, I mean, man, well, we got our own little playlist. I ain't going to share that with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Can't let y'all know what we listening to while we let's see here. Okay, let's go over this this white girlfriend. And this is more funny because every year the same thing happens. Every time the NFL draft comes around, black women show us how unbothered they are with black men's dating preferences by making multiple videos of telling the world how bothered they are about black men and their dating and marital preferences. And it never fails every year. And leading up to the NFL draft every year, it seems like the black women who hate black men, they spend all year telling us how much they don't like black men, they don't need black men, they're not going to submit, they don't want us, so on and so forth. The whole year. But the couple of days of the NFL draft, now all the pictures of black men with white girlfriends and white wives start to go viral. And now all of a sudden y'all care. But the crazy thing is there were so many white men being drafted as well. Why weren't black women able to snag those white men? Y'all can do the same thing to them. If white women are taking all the black athletes, then why aren't y'all competing for the white athletes that are in college? Maybe it's probably because they're not picking y'all. That could be it. Yeah, did y'all ever think about that? Jesus Christ. Let me show y'all something. Here we go.
For a fact, I'm probably gonna face some backlash for saying this. But y'all wanna know the real reason why y'all only see NFL players with white girls?
Wow.
It's because they're corny. Like that's the team. They're lame. I'm not gonna hold you. They're lame with money.
What's the thing with basketball men and white women? What's that about? People in sports and white women.
I think a majority.
Let me stop right there. So, and I only took one of the videos of the black woman that was talking about, you know, black men dating white women or marrying white women, black athletes. But this is Josh Powell. He actually played for the Lakers a while back. He is an athlete, right? Played at the highest level, played for the world's greatest team, the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Yeah, I said it. And he's actually telling why you see a lot of black athletes dealing with white women or women of other races. So if anybody was educated enough to speak on this topic, it will be actually somebody who was actually a pro athlete. Listen to what he says.
What we see is men choosing women who are willing to do for them what needs to be done or what they need to feel within a relationship. She probably waits on him hand and foot, gives him sound advice, talks to him respectfully, and the list goes on and on and on. What we don't talk about in our community is the war between men and women. That's why we here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that look like me and you who don't treat each other or show up for each other the way that we need to. And women all day long. I have clips in my phone, even from other podcasts and other things that go viral. You literally have women that look like you, Queen, that are saying, we don't need men. We don't need them.
Isn't that crazy?
But then the same women that say, well, we don't need y'all, you get mad when they go elsewhere.
Facts.
But I don't hear people going crazy when Serena marries her husband or Eve marries her husband, because it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Right? They'll say, I'll take that billionaire too. But again, are we focused on the love aspect, or are we focused on what you think or how that looks? I'm big on, black love, but I'm also big on love.
All right. So basically, Josh Powell, he said the same thing that we've been talking about in these spaces for a while now. We know the issue, right? But for some odd reason in this comment section, it was black women in there just basically explaining why these black athletes are marrying white women because of the things that he mentioned, and they displayed that in his comments. I mean, rather harshly as well. And he was actually responding to a lot of black women like, man, it ain't got nothing to do with. Black women were saying that black men are trying to be like white men, so they're trying to get their women. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. And he was telling black women like, hey, that's wrong. I'm telling you right now what it is. And they wouldn't listen to this ex-professional athlete. And he's basically saying the same things that we've been saying in these spaces. So black women, I don't understand. The women who hate black men or have a problem with this. Do y'all even want to compete? Do you want to compete for those athletes, black athletes, while they're in college? Are you going to wait with them? Because I remember just recently, you remember when the Super Bowl happened, guys? And there was a lot of black girlfriends that went viral because they were at the Super Bowl or something like that. And they were saying it was a trend saying, oh, we're black athlete girlfriends or something like that. Black NFL girlfriends. And, and it was a bunch of black women on there, like basically dispelling the rumor that the only women that these men date are white women. They were all black. Do you know what happened to those black women that was sharing their experiences? Black women cooked them, told them, yeah, y'all girlfriends, but you not wives. None of y'all look like you got a nice body. I look better than her. What was some other things that was said about these women? They talked about these women's hair, and they look basic. These chicks look basic. So even when a black woman is with an athlete, y'all tear her down. That's crazy. And then you have a problem with black men dating outside of their race. Which is it? Man, it's so confusing because and one thing that I noticed, especially from TikTok, is I know black women, they talk about black men all the time, right? That's the common narrative in TikTok. But I also noticed that black women don't like each other as well. And it's sad to see, especially on that app, because I seen one post where black women were sharing their experiences of having a black female boss in their place of work. And they were sharing stories about how negative their experiences were with having a black female boss or manager or wherever. Thousands of videos, thousands of comments being shared about how shitty black female bosses are from the perspective of other black women. That conversation then went into another black woman sharing her experience with dealing with a black female judge. And she started a thread of black women who are judges being shitty to other black women. And you can see this play out on Pink Book Lessons channel. She's been like following stories of black female judges getting fired and using money and all types of stuff. So yes, I started to notice that black women seem like they don't like each other. And in the comments, they tell you such. Black women can be evil. They can be mean. And it's literally other black women saying this. So that's why I'm like, man, those types of black women have their own issues, bro. And it don't matter who the target is. They're just going to be angry for no reason. And that's why I try and stop you guys from engaging with these women, because they just mad for no reason. Angry at breakfast. Shout out to Cat Williams. But yeah, it's sad to see. And you, as a black man, you wish you could help, but your services are not welcome in those spaces. I think they just feel comfortable of hating each other and hating men and living life. And it's sad, a sad existence, but I noticed that, man. And you just got to let them cook, bro. So it is what it is. It's crazy. That black athlete thing is absolutely nuts. Every year, the same thing happens. And I always wonder, why don't black women ask the black athletes what they look for in a woman, instead of getting upset every time the draft come around? Ask them, like, hey, what are you actually looking for in a woman, so we can possibly change in order to fit, I guess, the type of aesthetic that you guys are looking for. And also, why don't these black women who are upset, why don't y'all ask white women? I know that may sound taboo, but ask white women, what are they doing to get these black athletes? I mean, if you have a problem with it, ask what they're doing so you can try and get on the program and compete for these black athletes if you have a problem with it. That would be the logical thing to do. But no, we ain't trying to be like white women. If you're going to take us as we are, okay. At that point, it's nothing people can do. Lord have mercy. So, and I got some stats for you guys. Of course, I always got the stats so we can back this stuff up. So this is from July 18, 2023. Again, from Pew Research. Most black adults in the U.S. are optimistic about their financial future. And it was actually reported by a black woman, Khadijah Edwards. Overall, just 6% of black adults in the U.S. had an annual earnings of $100,000 or more in 2021, according to our analysis of the Census Bureau's American Community Survey. This share rises to 16% This share rises to 16% among those with at least a bachelor's degree or more, and drops to 2% among those with some college education or less. So again, black women, I'm giving you an alley-oop. If a black man has a college degree or some college, then he's more likely to make $100,000. There you go. So you got to start cultivating these relationships while in college. Y'all let me know in the chat. Does that make sense? Giving you the alley-oop. So still, among those who said they would need $100,000 or more in order to lead the kind of life they want, roughly 6 in 10 black adults, 62%, believe they will have this income in the future. Okay, very optimistic. Now, let's look at this. Another black woman, and I like getting these facts and statistics from black women. Fact check. 83% of black men earning $100,000 annual income marry black women. So she's fact checking it. And I already reported this, but I like the fact that it's a black woman. It was written by Ann Brown in July 27th or January 27th, 2021. Oop, my bad. Here we go. The fact check. 83% of black men, we already know what it is. There are many myths about black marriage. Some claim that black men are marrying at higher numbers out of their race. Others claim that black women just aren't getting married. Another myth claims that successful black men aren't marrying black women. For the latter, the opposite is true. Black men who earn $100,000 or more are marrying black women according to an analysis of U.S. Census data and other figures. So there you have it. So even when black men make over $100,000, they marry black women at marry black women at an 83% clip. To include athletes, because athletes tend to make over $100,000 a year. I mean, fairly easy, I would add, right? So there you have it. So even though black male athletes may marry out at a higher percentage or a high percentage, overall, they still marry black women. Now, you can start black women who hate black men. You can start picking this apart and saying, well, yeah, if it's 83%, all of them probably light skinned, or all of them probably multiracial, or the multi-race women, biracial women. That's going to be the new narrative. It may be 83%, but they not marrying dark-skinned black women. That's what they're going to say. So if that's the case, do what you got to do. But yeah, I just kind of threw y'all the alley-oop to try and put things into perspective of what's going on. So yeah, and before we get into this next topic, I want to start with some of these military questions because that's what y'all came here for. I always wait until a little bit because I got so many topics. L Factor just dropped the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. A lot of black women are aware they play dumb just to keep the arguments going, and I would agree to that. One Titans proximity. Black athletes are usually mostly surrounded by white women, and yeah, that is a factor that is true because when you go to predominantly white institutions or universities, you're going to be around more white women. It is what it is. So Reese Johnson said David Carroll said it best. They need excuses to chase white men. It's really that simple. Yeah, and that's why you hear the excuse of black women have always been race loyal to black men to a fault. Black women have never been race loyal like that to black men. Never. They've always tried to marry outside their race. And I have to keep mentioning this, the Loving versus Virginia. I mean, interracial marriage wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for a black woman and a white man. So black women have always tried to marry outside of their race, but they can't because it's not their choice. The other races of men have to choose you. And I don't think black women understand that no matter if you were race loyal to black men or not, if you all removed yourself from black men and put yourselves on the dating market like you're doing present day for white men, Hispanic men, Asian men, then they will be marrying you at a higher rate. But again, that's their choice. It has nothing to do with you. Shout out to Jay Curve. He said, you can't affirmative action your way into marrying white men, which basically means that you cannot force white men to marry you. They have to want to marry you. And that's the thing that a lot of divestors don't understand. You can have all the admiration and, loving things to say about white men, but at the end of the day, they have to marry you. And that's why I always push back on white men who say, oh, we love black women, but it's not showing up in marriage. So if you guys are going to deal with black women, you have to marry them because nothing else matters. Saying that, I always like black women. I seen some white man on some channel and he was talking about, I prefer to date black women. And black women were praising him in the comments. I was like, y'all missed a key word. He said date. He didn't say marry. And by the looks of it, him saying that I love to date black women, he just using y'all for sex. Y'all have to be very clear with these white men who say stuff like that. Yeah, you say you date black women. Would you marry one? Ask them that. That should be your follow-up moving forward. Black women who want to divest. Okay? Don't just let them get off the hook by saying they like dating you, which basically means I like sleeping with y'all. So super chat from Black Kraken, $5 super chat said, Media Man, I can't tell you how much fun I had watching Keisha have a psychotic breakdown about black athletes, white girlfriends during the NFL draft. Yeah, man, they going crazy over there. It's every year. Jay Kerr said, real talk. Yeah, man. Glow Hardy says, laughing. Thank you, Mona, for acknowledging. And then Generation Love says, more women nowadays seem to be more masculine, even down to the fragrance. Stop choosing the thug before going to the Caucasian and then choosing the opposite. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Biggie, he lets her wordplay. So yeah, so this is I wanted to do this for the military thing, and I didn't want to share all the conversations that I had during consults because some of them are absolutely private, but some of the most questions that I had were based off of the ones that I actually pulled. And I want to be I think I had like maybe one person this last Sunday asked me this. He said, what was your biggest motivation for staying in the military for 20 years? And while we were talking on the consult, I told him, I was like, well, because the Air Force was actually all I had, right? And I didn't see outside of the military because I didn't have anything else. Because if you've been in the military, it kind of goes through phases of service. Because you can, enlist. I know it. Well, in the Air Force, you can enlist for either 4 years or 6 years. Me, I enlisted for 6 years because I didn't have any college at the time. So if I would have enlisted for 4 years, then I wouldn't have been able to go up to E3 once I graduated tech school, which is a rank that you get in the Air Force. So I decided to go in for 6 years so I can gain the rank at E3, which really doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things, what you've been serving, right? But yeah, so I did 6 years. So you had that first enlistment, and you just there to see if you like it or not, right? And my veterans in the chat, you guys can probably I guess validate this information. But yeah, the first 4 to 6 years, you kind of filling it out to see if you're going to re-enlist. And then once you figure out that you like the military, you can withstand what the hell is going on, then you may re-up for another 4 years or another 6 years. Me, I think I did another 4 years to get myself to 10. And during that 6 to 10 year time span, that's when you start to grow, right? And you start to try and either become accomplished in your, education, or you try and set yourself up to retire. And you make these decisions between the 6 and 10 year mark. Because if you get to 10 years, you have a choice to make. You're already halfway to retirement. So you can either get out at 10 years if you've already accomplished so much, like you got your degrees, you got your certifications. Now you feel comfortable getting out of the military to where you can potentially do well in the civilian world. A lot of people do this, right? So when I got to my 10-year mark, I didn't even look outside of the military. So I already understood that it was already a part of my lifestyle. So I decided to re-enlist again and then re-enlist for another time to make it to 20 years. So once I got to 10 years, I didn't even think about, getting out of the military because, for one, I started school late. So right around my 10-year mark was in 2009. From 1999 to 2009, I had already deployed, maybe it was at that time about 6 times, right? From 2009 or 1999 to 2009. Deployed 6 times already, but I didn't have any degrees under my belt. Didn't go to school. Never had even had a thought about pursuing higher education. But from 2009 to 2012, I started to do little classes here and there because the Air Force, they sell you on, you need to get your CCF, which is the Community College of Air Force associate's degree. It goes along with your jobs or AFSCs that you've held in the military. And so between 2009 and 2012, that's when I started doing those 6 courses so I can qualify for my CCAF. And I also started doing courses for nutrition. And then I got to Portugal in 2011. And that was when I told this story before, where one of my mentors, she challenged me to go to school because she made me look stupid for not having a bachelor's degree. Even though I felt that I was very accomplished in my military career, which I was up until this point, but I didn't have any degrees. So I took it as a slight and I got pissed off at her. And I started to go even, harder, into my schooling so I can get my bachelor's degree. I ended up earning my bachelor's degree in 2012. And once I finished that up, I contacted her and I told her, yeah, I got my bachelor's degree. Now what? To try and throw it in her face. And she didn't say anything. She said, congratulations, what's next? So I enrolled back into school and ended up getting my master's degree in public health, right? So once you do that, and I'm already at the time, I would have been around 14 years in the military. At that point, I was like, yeah, it's a career now. So I decided to go to 20 years. So that's how I kind of made it to 20 years. It wasn't anything like, it wasn't my goal, even though I did have a cousin who, my uncle, he was in the Air Force. He was an officer in the Air Force, her dad. And when I finally told my family that I was joining the Air Force, she made it seem so simple. She was like, oh yeah, that's a great thing that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You go in right now at the age of, 18 or whatever, and then you can retire at age 38. And when she said it back in 1999, I was thinking, damn, 2019 is a long ass time. That's a ways to go. But she just said it so flippant, like, yeah, you do 20 years and get, you retire at 38. And it always stuck with me, her saying that. And when I got to 2019, it was time for me to retire. I was like, damn, man, I did it. I did 20 years in the military. I was like, I can't believe it. If you guys don't know, only 17% of military service members actually retire. So out of all the people who have ever served, only 17%. That's crazy, right? So yeah, that is an accomplishment. It is tough to get to 20 years in the military. You have to deal with a lot of shit. I ain't gonna even sugarcoat anything, about this. It was times where I had to hold my tongue. I hated people. I still hate people in the military till this day. And trust me, guys, I've talked about this in therapy. I tried to get over it, but it's tough, man. The military will make you hate. Y'all want me to be real? I'll be real with you. Yes, I still carry that. It is still some people, if I see them till this day, no questions, no comments, no concerns, I'm swinging on your ass. But you're going to learn to deal with it because you got to see the bigger picture, and once you start to figure out and you learn about, retiring at such a young age, 38, that's crazy. That's when I retired. I was 38 years old. How many people can say that? I still got a whole life to look forward to. So yes, it does make sense. And then you throw in all your experiences. You go to the VA, 100% exempt combat veteran, and they compensate you for your service and putting your life on the line and putting your body through the ringer to make it to where you qualify for the 100%. And I had to get out of that mindset of saying that they're giving me this money. No, I earned this shit. Tomorrow, I have an ultrasound. I have a doctor's appointment. I have an ultrasound that I have to do on my back. And then right after that ultrasound, I have chiropractic care for about 90 minutes. Yes, the military will put you through some shit. And at the time, I didn't care about none of it. I felt that I was expendable when I was in the military. But once I retired, I think I started to take life a little bit more seriously and started to get more careful and cautious. And it scared me because I felt that I was losing some of the skills that I learned in the military. So that's why you guys used to see me post a lot of videos of me teaching people how to shoot a firearm, me going to the firing range just to make sure my skills was up. I started hitting the heavy bag a little bit more because when you retire, you kind of get relaxed, which is a good thing. I embraced it, but I just didn't want to lose some of the teachings and the skills that the military taught me. And that's why this YouTube channel comes in handy for me, because I get to share these experiences with you guys. But I want to be as honest as I can about the military. It's not as easy as people think, you know, and 20 years, it definitely ain't easy. And if there's people out there that serve for even longer than that, 30 years, 40 years, it's tough, man. But it is also rewarding. They put you in a place to where you can succeed as a better functioning adult in the civilian world. And a lot of that comes from learning how to be a leader and also learning how to be a follower first. Because in these spaces, we like to frame things from the aspect of, yeah, you know, everybody an alpha male. You shouldn't be, you know, you got to be a boss. Never be a follower. Man, I've said this before. Nobody makes it through the military without following somebody. Seriously. Everybody has a boss in the military, from the highest general to the lowest ranking E1. We all have bosses. No matter how much responsibility or management, leadership, directing, none of it doesn't matter. Everybody has a boss. So this whole notion of, you know, well, you can't be a follower doesn't apply to the military, the people who serve, because we learn how to be effective leaders by following good leaders. And those leaders learn how to be effective leaders by following another leader, so on and so forth. So the biggest thing that I got out of the military was to be a great leader. I had some great people around me that, you know, showed me the way, so to speak. I went to some amazing schools. I was able to push myself to the limit, you know, and that's shout out to the Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, joint training operations, so on and so forth. I learned so much. Like I said, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the military. I wouldn't be able to speak in front of a public audience if it wasn't because of the military. I got my public speaking book that I shared with one of my consults on Sunday. I used to be deathly afraid to get in front of crowds. But the crazy thing about the military is they test you, and they don't let you play the background if you're good at something. I tried to do that. I tried to be the guy who was like letting other people do their thing and lead and whatever, and I would just pass my portion of the, you know, the skills test or the quality training, and I would do very well until one of my supervisors, he would start, you know, looking at the tests and looking at, you know, the you know, the evals, and every time we would go fire, I was always getting expert, and he started to look and he was like, man, who got expert on, you know, the M16 or the M14 or whatever, and my name would always pop up, and he would call me out. He's like, man, get your ass up here, stop trying to hide. He's like, man, teach these people how to do this. And he taught me how to get out there. It has just become commonplace because I was doing so well in the career. He was like, well, damn, man, you need to do this. I'm going to put you in position to go here. You need to go to this school, this school. And I just kept, you know, progressing and started to get out of my, you know, my fear of speaking in front of, you know, public audiences, because I became more sure about the stuff that I was speaking to. And the military got me out of that introverted way of thinking to where I worked my way up in the medical field to be able to brief special operations commanders every week, every Wednesday. And I told, if he's in here, he probably let you know, I told this story. I used to be scared as hell every Wednesday when I had to speak in front of all those damn, you know, colonels and generals about prevalent issues in the countries that we're going to be operating in. And I got through it, man. You know, it was tough. So, I mean, they push you, they get you out of your element, you know, and it's all worth it. Like you guys, you know, I don't brag, but right there. I got my little ribbon rack, my ribbon and medal rack. I did some great things in the military. So yeah, so Queen said sit reps. It's like I was actually a medical intelligence officer. So a medical intelligence officer is a guy who briefs every commander who's going to be operating in a particular area, place of interest on medical issues. So let's say that we were trying to operate in a country in Africa, and I would literally have to go to this country to see if it was suitable for American troops to live in. And the way we do that is we do a site survey, and we have to see if this area is prone to flooding, if there's an influx of deadly snakes, spiders, rats, roaches, whatever it is. If all of these things are not conducive to, military members, then we can't stay there. And I would have to be the one to convey that to the commanders, to tell them, hey, I would suggest, I would advise you guys to probably look for another space, because this is not going to be suitable for us. Yes, the military takes those things into account. And the funny thing, we just mentioned Vietnam, the Vietnam War at the start of the show. Go look at the figures of how many troops died from being exposed to snake bites, spider bites, hygiene issues. That's where my job comes in as a public health advisor, right? So I was an air advisor, medical intelligence officer. We have to mitigate those risks. And it boils down to a lot of things. Of course, the enemy, yes, that's first, right? But then once you start whittling it down, you have people like the CE guy, civil engineer. They will let the commanders know if they can build in this particular area. If the soil is not good enough. We used to have environmentalists come out there. Archaeologists used to come out there and help the military survey these sites. Everybody used to be on there just to make sure that we will be good and we would be in the best space to fight the enemy, so to speak. If that was the objective. If it was reconnaissance, we'd have to do the same thing. So yeah, go look at the figures. Do some research on the Vietnam War. Do some research on the World War II. They'll tell you. So it's a lot, man. There's a lot that goes into these military operations. And that's why I say everybody's job is important. It may not be as high priority, such as, in the Air Force. The pilots are king. I mean, it's the Air Force, of course, pilots. But in order to fly, you still need aircraft maintenance, right? You need age equipment. Age equipment is like the generators and all that type of stuff. Those guys on the flight line. You need, security, which is security forces, which is my first job. It may seem like a tedious thing, where you're just sitting there on a post for 12 hours watching aircraft. But what if somebody wanted to do harm to one of those aircraft? You need security. So they matter. They got to eat, right? Pilots got to eat, right? So you got services. They cook. He's like, oh, you was a cook in the Air Force? People are cooks, and you people try and look down on them like, brother, we got to eat. So everybody's job matters. They mesh well. That's how the military works. I wish the Black community could buy into this. There I go, bringing this back to the Black community. But yeah. But yeah. Okay, let me see here. I think I got some... let's see. Dante Bryant, $2 super chat, said, was your supervisor a so-called Black man? A so-called? Well, he was Black. One of them was Black. I've had, and I'm thinking, it says, I don't want to put his last name out there. His name was Eric, and he was actually the base team basketball coach as well. His name was Eric, my first supervisor that had impact on me. He was a Black man, family man, married, great man. And then I had another mentor, one of my other supervisors. He was the one that put me in positions to go to these special schools because he saw something in me. Very tough dude. He actually ended up becoming a command chief at what base was I stationed at for a minute? Andrews, Joint Base Andrews. He was a command chief in Andrews. I also had another Superman. I could go down the list of how many people affected my career and being making it to 20 years. But those two guys, they stand out because they definitely laid the groundwork of the man that you see today. And you know, man, so I'm starting to get emotional. But yeah, because I mean, you guys know, I mean, I grew up in a single mother household. So that male influence wasn't there. The military provided that for me, and my cousins. Rest in peace to my cousin Stanley. You know, he showed me a lot. But the military has some great, dudes that, showed me the way. So yeah, so we can get man. So, the next question was, what was the toughest stretch of your military career? And most people would say, well, they thought that I would probably say like, going to combat. No, that's just a necessary evil that happens in the career field that I was in at the time. But the toughest stress that I actually had was actually cross training from security forces, getting out of that combat role, so to speak, or defense, air-based defense role, and going into being a medic, because I was always scared that I wasn't smart enough to go to college. So I went into medical, and that's a pretty technical job, and I became a public health technician right out of, being security forces. And the transition is crazy because you're around more women, and you have women supervisors. And I'm not saying the whole medical career field is women, but it's a lot more women than security forces. And you're used to having men and male influence all around you. Now you have to adjust to being led by, female, female supervisors. And it's a complete difference. The approach is different. And I was coming out of this male dominated career field, and I had to adjust. And it was very tough for me, to the point that I almost tried to go back because I did so well in security forces, won multiple awards, went to all the special schools, did everything. And it got to the point where people were shocked when they would see me still serving. They were shocked that I retrained. It's like, man, you used to be, you be super troop in security forces. How did you, why did you retrain? And it was because of my daughter. My daughter was born and I was never home. So I decided to retrain into a new career field, thinking that I would be able to be home more to take care of my child. But when I got into medical, I started to deploy and I started to go to special schools again because you can't hide. And that's when I became an air advisor. You guys can look up this stuff and what an air advisor is. But yes, I did that, became an air advisor, started, deploying a little more. And yeah, and it was just tough. So all in all, 10 deployments down, and here I am now. So that was the toughest thing, from transitioning from a male-dominated career field to being in medical, but it's funny. I ended up liking it and ended up loving it to the point that I'm actually working in the career field that I got my degrees in. How'd that work? So let me get some of these super chats. Ron Alexander, 499 super chat, said, I forgot you do consults. I'm interested. What are things you like to talk about / focus on in your consultations? We'll look into setting one up. No, man, it's on y'all. Typically, I put out the thing. I said, man, we can talk about either military, dating, relationships, mental health, fitness. Those are the things that I'd like to speak about. So it's pretty much any questions that you guys have. The 3 that I had on Sunday were mostly about government jobs, right? Hold on one second. Let me show y'all something real quick. All right. So all the things that I mentioned, hold on, Ron, I got you. Okay, I got that one. Dante Bryant, $10 super chat. He said, I say so-called because black does not denote race, community, or religion. So-called black can mean Moors, Aboriginal people, West Indian, FBA. Oh, okay. I know you're talking about. Cool. Leon 008 says, with the $5 super chat, said AMP 1 and 2. Lord save me from those two classes. Plus, I totally hated biology, the books, and how you have to study that crap. I wanted to give up. Man, I've taken biology, microbiology, advanced microbiology, AMP 1 and 2, advanced AMP, anatomy and physiology, or psychology, was anatomy and psychology. Which one is it? Because there's two different courses. But yeah, AMP took everything. But let me see. So I also do some light tutoring. I just mentioned microbiology. This is the Atlas of Tropical Medicine and parasitology. So I did some tutoring on a consult on Sunday. This is my old ass yellow book, CDC yellow book for international travel. It's still prevalent, but it has been updated. I have to get the new one here in a second. So I do some consults on travel. And I also do federal resume guidebook. A lot of y'all was interested in that. In those 3 consults, they wanted to focus on that the most. So yeah, so like I said, I sit on the hiring panels, and I was just giving my insight on how to construct a federal resume for USA jobs. And I also teach a little bit of public speaking on my consults as well to help people get more proficient, right? So yeah, so I'm working out here, man. Yeah, I got all my books, this stuff is right there, my bookcase or whatever. But yeah, I'm working out here, guys. So, oh man, let's see here. If not, it's cool. I like that. Hey, shout out you, Everett's brother. I retired in 2020. It said 4PL Pharmacy Tech. Life with you in them. Life Pharmacy Tech life with you in them MDGs. Yeah, the medical group. Man, I love being a medic, man. I met so many great people. Man, shout out to you, brother. Man, we got another retiree. Is that a retire? Yeah, there we go. Salute. we got him in here, man. Let's see here. Jaguar Andy said, Dante Bryan, I think we talked about this before, but are you an Israelite? No. See, Leon 008, Anatomy and Physiology. There we go. And Leon 008, you have to add literally 1,000 words to your vocabulary. I hated microbiology too. Yeah, the AMP, we had a song that we had to learn for we would make up songs of the different words and definitions to where we could memorize them. And I used to have it down. I forgot it, but yeah, I used to have it all down. See, Quee said public speaking was an awesome class I took in college. Yeah, man. You have to do those 3 to 5 speeches on your own. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Oh, Dante said no. Oh, okay. Y'all talking about each other. I'll let y'all have it. But yeah, so now I answered one more. Said, had one guy ask about relationships in the military. And we went down a road that was hilarious, but it was also sad because relationships in the military, like personal relationship, marriages, it's just like the civilian world, but it's just a smaller community, which basically means that you may see the person that your girlfriend is cheating on you with every day. You may see the guy, that your wife is cheating on with, you may work in the same squadron, same group as you, but you would never know until something pop off and then there's a problem, but it's the same thing. Marriages, work, they fail. It's no different, and it's tough. It is tough because, and I tell this to men, and I told him, as a military guy, if you get married to, let's say, a civilian woman, she has to be a different caliber of wife. It's so much more responsibility on her than the average woman in the civilian world. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's say you're a highly deployable man. And this is something that I had to learn through therapy. And I actually had to apologize to my daughter's mother because I didn't understand the stuff that she was going through. Because when I would deploy, she was there by herself. And I used to get mad at her for not staying in the house that we had on base housing. And she would always go back to stay with her mother, to the point that when I would get back from deployment, our house would be dusty. We'd have spider webs everywhere. And I'm like, man, did you even come back here to check on the house? And she was like, no, you was gone. And me being a dummy at the time, I didn't understand, man, that she just needed companionship. She needed to be around some people. And the same thing that is what women go through when you have a guy who's in the military. He deploys a lot. She's there by herself. And sometimes that can lead her down the wrong roads. She may end up cheating. So you need to be a different type of woman to be with a military man. And if you're not the type of woman that likes to be faithful, don't get married. And the same thing goes for guys who are married to military women. This happens a lot. Some guys in the military, they will literally marry a military woman knowing that she may deploy, and he takes that time to get his freak on. You know what I'm saying? Some men, I didn't even know they was married because they was out and about at the clubs with us. And they was at girls more than we were. They're like, brother, how was you married? Like, you married all this time? Yeah, it happens, man. And this is not just for lower ranking individuals. High ranking individuals have this happen all the time. So it's a different level of responsibility being a spouse to a military person. Seriously, man, if you're not prepared, it's tough. Even in dual service marriages, it's tough because that is never a guarantee that y'all gonna get deployed to the same places. Sometimes a spouse may get orders to, let's say, Kunsan, Korea, which is a year tour, and they don't allow families to come. So let's say your spouse gets orders to Korea. Now you're gone for a year straight. And that can cause some issues because military folks tend to use Korea, Kunsan to be specific, as an adult college campus where they can get their groove back, so to speak. Because who would know? They use that time to run around and do what they need to do. So military, I mean, man, there's so many stories out there, but it's a tough role. It's a tough, I'm trying to be as careful with my words, but it's tough. I'm gonna just say that much. But after, you guys don't know, I was married before. That's how my daughter came. Yes, my daughter came within marriage, right? I got married in 2001 and we got divorced in 2005 because we were just too young. And we both admitted that years later to each other, like, man, we just didn't know what the hell we were doing. I didn't know what a husband was. She didn't know what a wife was. We just got married because we was attracted to one another. And that was pretty much it. I didn't know anything. And that's me perfectly honest with you guys. And that's okay to admit to yourselves, I'm not marriage material yet. And I definitely admitted to myself after I failed in marriage the first time, I was not ready to be a husband. And I made sure that the next time I decided to go down this road, if I decided to go down that road, I was going to be prepared and I was going to learn how to be a husband. I learned. So I'm here now. And I got content with I didn't think that I would even pursue marriage until I met, this one right here. As not this way changed my mind. I changed my mind. I was like, oh, I didn't know they had women out there like this. It's like, yeah. Oh, you're going to stick with me forever. But I wasn't ready to be a husband at the time. And I was honest with myself. Therapy helps, man. You come to grips with that. I know we talk about, are you dating? Are you marriage minded? Dating for potential? And I'm like, I would have answered you no. I'm dating because I love women and I like female companionship. And I used to tell them that straight up. I'm not, I'm not ready to get married right now. We can hang out. It is what it is. Because I wasn't ready to be somebody's husband. I was ready to be a situationship, possibly a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, but anything other than that, no. And you just got to get women that are on your program or want the same things as you. And I was lucky enough to be stationed at the Pentagon, and we have a lot of successful career-driven women, and they want the same things as you because they ain't trying to get tied down and have some damn kids and shit like that. So yeah. So yeah. Let's see here. Antonio Grimes, my question is, do women increase their chances for marriage when dating outside of their race, or do they decrease their chances by increasing the competition from the women in those races? Yeah, and I discussed this, Antonio. It's more competition because I think black women think it's going to be a seamless transition. Because let's just run with this, Antonio. Hear me out. Let's say that it was true that black women were being loyal to black men and they never opened themselves up to marrying outside of their race. Let's say that, what is it? That 83% of black women, no. How many 87% of black women are married to black men. Let's just say the large contingent of black women who are single, never married, were holding on to the idea that my black king is going to find me. And they're race loyal no matter how many times this fictitious black man has done them wrong, but they're still being loyal to black men because they want black love. Let's just say all those women stop doing that, right? What is it? 48%, 49% of black women single, never married. Let's say 49% of those black women stop being loyal to black men. And they put themselves out in front of the population of white men, the non-married white men, and say, hey, white men, I'm ready to be married now to you guys. I was race loyal to black men. I'm yours. So the white men are staring at this 49% of black women never married. And then right next to that 49% of black women who are never married, you have a large contingent of white women who are never married. Then you have a contingent of Hispanic women who are looking to marry white men. And then you have Asian women on the other side, and they're all sitting there with their hands folded, looking at this population of white men. And they're like, okay, you choose. Who do you want to marry the most? White men go directly to their women first. We're going to pick you because 83% of all people tend to marry within their race. They're going to take a large majority of white women because they belong to them, right? Then they're going to look at the three remaining: black women, Asian women, Hispanic women. They're going to go directly to Asian women, grab some Asian women. Then you got Hispanic women and black women still standing there, hands, arms crossed. Who are you going to choose? White men go from here. They say, look, black women, I think you guys are sexy. I like the curve, the curviness, the sex is amazing. Great. So I'm going to deal with you for a little bit, but I'm going to choose this Hispanic woman and I'm going to marry them. So now you got black women sitting there and they're waiting. And all of those 49% of black women are like, damn, man, wonder why they didn't choose me. Because white men's preference tends to start from white, Asian, Hispanic. And then some white men, a small percentage to the tune of 6% of married black women are married to white men. And then out of the total black women population, 3.3% are married to white men. And that number is even smaller when it comes to white men. I believe it's at less than 1% of white men tend to marry black women because larger population of white men, larger population of married white men, and they marry black women at the lowest rate. So that's what black women are facing when they say that I'm just going to date out. They have to compete. And then when they compete, it's still up to the white man to choose them. And that's a sad reality that a lot of our black women have to come to grips with. The one who say that they want to divest and they want to swirl and black men aren't good enough. And we get all that. But at the end of the day, it's still his preference. And it's, to y'all, it may make sense, but to those black women, it doesn't, because they think that they can force themselves into white men's good graces. And honestly, it may not even be nothing wrong with the black women. It's just the fact that white men have their own preference. So I don't want this to be spun like I'm saying all these black women may not be suitable, like the 49% that are single, never married. Some of them may be suitable, but at the end of the day, they still have to choose. And that's the sad reality. So hopefully that paints a picture, Antonio. And to any black women watching, no black men over here are telling you that you need to stay race loyal to black women. I'm not, because black men are going to date out no matter what. It is what it is. They're going to marry out no matter what. So it'll be crazy for me to sit up there and be like, no, but y'all need to be race loyal. No, you get what you can, get the best option. But this is something that y'all got to understand. Still up to the white man. Sad, but it is what it is. See, Air Force Rick said TDY temporarily divorce yourself. Yeah, that's what I was told on my first deployment. Yeah, man, you know how it is. People be wilding. So let's stop right there, man. We could have these military conversations. I'm gonna have to do a panel. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do in the near future, guys. I'm gonna bring some military folks up here, but you will be vetted. Of course, you will be vetted, men and women. You guys, I want you guys to come up here and share some experiences, because I mean, my experience may be different. And I'm not talking about just people who retired. I want people who actually got out because they had a bad experience. They didn't like the military, or they had a better offer on the outside. So I'm gonna get y'all up here. I'm definitely in. But I do want to go over this Amanda Seales stuff, because you guys have seen her in the news recently, and she's going viral now and still because she went on Club Shay Shay and shared her experience. Amanda Seales, in my opinion, she's always been problematic, and Shannon Sharpe is kind of learning the hard way, because now she's disparaging him. She's degrading him after he opened up his platform when nobody else wouldn't, because they knew that this would happen. Amanda Seales don't like black men. And that's as simple as that. And she tries to say that I'm for black men. I just want y'all to be better. You know, I want you to be better. All my experiences, I help black men and so on. No, we get it. She don't like black men. So for Shannon Sharpe to open up his platform, he probably didn't know much about her, and he did it in good faith. But now he's understanding why people kind of shy away from Amanda Seales. She's a troublesome woman, and she has some issues that she has to deal with on her own. And I was telling my friend recently, I was like, well, with her in her situation, it's kind of tough, because I told him the best thing that we need to do with Amanda Seales is just leave her alone. And in her profession, that could be a bad thing, because that's what people are doing right now. For some people, when I tell them, hey man, leave them alone, they already got it. That means that they're good. They already understand the task. Leave them alone. Stop bothering them. But in the Amanda Seales situation, that's the worst thing that could happen. If the entertainment industry leaves her alone, then she will be struggling out here. But I think that's what's necessary, because she don't know how to act anywhere that she goes. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But I did see so many people bringing up the Myron Rolle Amanda Seales incident, but nobody actually told the full story in regards to what happened. but that's why you guys have me here. We're going to actually review what she actually said. After she gets done, I'm going to stop the video and you guys tell me how you feel about what she actually said. Is that fair? Chat? Fair? We good? One in the chat if that's fair. Because there was a lot of people saying that she said something different. She said this, she said that. No, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you guys hear exactly what she said. And then you make the decision if you still feel that she did Myron Rolle wrong. I personally do, but it is what it is. But here we go. Don't take my word for it. Listen to you. Fair use from the Breakfast Club. We can't show the video, but I do have the audio. Fair use. Here we go.
Person that I actually got excited about, like, who had dropped in my DMs, I basically like manifested 2 years ago. I was like, this person is going to eventually fall into my DMs. Mm-hmm. And
stop right there real quick. So the person that she was referring to is Myron Rolle. So she was actually excited that Myron Rolle slid into her DMs. She liked him. She wanted him. Let me clear that up. Here we go.
If, like, he did, we had a conversation, and like within the first conversation, he's like, when are you coming to Boston? I was like, well, I'll be there February 23rd.
Well, we know he's from Boston
for
now.
my show.
We know he's from Boston.
And he was like,
clue.
no, I need to see you before that. Easy B. Like,
easy B.
Real rap.
So did y'all have a problem with him saying that? Did y'all have a problem with him saying that? No, I need to see you now. Because if you are attracted to a woman, and mind you, Madison is an attractive woman. If you're attracted to a woman, she's saying that she likes him. She wanted him to slide into her DMs. He did. So she was like, I'm going to be in, Boston or whatever. He's like, no, I need you to come out now. And I'm going to tell you why she thought that was wrong. Here we go.
Old Amanda would have felt like honored by that. Old Amanda would have been like, oh, he want to see me so quick. Like, oh my gosh. Like, new Amanda with the wisdom and the security of self is like, why is a man I ain't never met before so pressed off of one conversation for me to come see him? Furthermore, did not.
Okay, I'm going to stop. And I have to explain this because she doesn't. The reason why she said old Amanda would have been happy is because she felt that Myron Rolle was treating her like a runaround, treating her like street booty, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna just run through this girl, so I need to see her. And he probably was. He probably didn't see her as a candidate for a wife or a girlfriend. So he's like, man, she already liked me. Let me get this girl out here so I can smash real quick, and I'm gonna send her on her way. She was offended because he was trying to speed up the process of seeing her because she knows that he wants to have sex with her. Does that make sense? So that's why she said new Amanda is like, no, because now she's marriage minded. That makes sense? And let me just state this fact. Myron Rolle is actually married now with a couple kids. So the dude went on with his life to do great things. So she was upset that he was trying to just fly her out and sneak in. So this is where the vitriol comes in. Here we go.
Ask about my availability. Furthermore, did not offer to pay my way.
So he was supposed to pay her way to come out there to Boston. See, she's made. I'm sorry, guys. I've studied this interview so many times. I have to explain. She's making a case to make him the bad guy. How the hell you didn't ask about my availability? How you didn't tell me, say that you was gonna pay for my ticket? Because she's building it up to make it seem like he's a bad guy. But if you like each other, none of that stuff like matters like that. But she's making the case. I'm sorry, guys. I just have to explain it for clarity. Here we go.
None of these things. It was just like, I need to see. Like, what is this?
Well, I can't call it pressed only because
it is pressed.
Pressed, bro. But no, listen, I'm gonna tell you why. He watches you all the time. So he probably sees you all the time. He feels like he knows you. So even though that's your first conversation, In his mind, he's like, no, I feel like I know her a lot, so I really want to see
Was
her.
it only a DM conversation, or did y'all even talk?
So we started on DM earlier that day, and then we got on the phone. And nah, like, slow your roll, player. Like, get out of here.
He's
like,
press. That's press.
That's press.
That's press.
And then what ends up happening is because, listen, y'all got to do background checks, okay? I'm not necessarily saying like filing, background checks like where you're looking for if a nigga got arrested. No, ask around.
Right.
Ask around. Like there has to be a network. And honestly, like men do the same. Like everybody, like you got to, because people are wild out here. People are wild. Do background checks. I was telling my right hand homegirl about it, and who works for Smart, Funny, and Black, and she was like, I think he hollered at my homegirl. She texts her homegirl, yo, you remember this dude? What's his story? Her homegirl literally replies, asshole.
Okay. So now it starts. She's building the case. Called her friend, said that he was asshole. Now y'all pay attention. Here we go.
I'm like, more tea, please. Spill it. No, more tea. And she said, yo, we talked a couple times on the phone, on FaceTime. She lives in New Orleans. He had to come out here for work. He said, let's get up, let's meet in person. They'd never met before. And she said that when she got to his hotel room so that they could meet to then go eat dinner, he opened the door butt ass naked.
Whoa.
Every woman in this room went.
Now that's a little pressed.
So you hear that? So I guess that she's saying that an interaction that Myron Rowe had with one of the friends, he opened the door butt naked, right? One of the friends, quote unquote friends, right? Let's continue.
Damn,
that's press.
That's the title. He felt like the title. I'm gonna get that. Damn.
So he opened the door, and she was like, "Nigga, what the hell?" And she said that he tried to make her feel like she was tripping.
Ron, you funny. You say he's just eager, and I'll be perfect. If a dude, hey brothers, don't do that shit. And Myron Rowe probably didn't do this. That was probably some girl that he snuck in with. It is what it is, and she mad now. But don't do that shit. That reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where Jerry set Elaine up on a date with one of his friends, and at the end of the date, the dude just took his dick out. Just took his dick out in the car, and Elaine was going in for a kiss. She looked down, and everything hanging out. Don't do that. Yeah, it's gonna be in jail. So, and don't show up to hotel doors naked. Here we go.
And was like, yo, I was just taking a nap. Like, why are you wilding right now? And she was like, yo, get out of here, boy.
What in the
like, get
Harvey
out.
Weinstein?
Then she left. Then she left. And I gave a little bit more information on this person in my podcast. I have had 4 women hit me and be like, this is who you're talking about.
Damn.
They say him by name, and they're like, because I was like, oh, that's a flag that I can't let ride. And I texted him. And I said, it's a small world. He didn't hit me back for 2 days. And when he didn't hit me back the second day, I was like, let me just tell you something. Let me just tell you something. You could be all the Rhodes Scholars and you could have all the scrubs. But when
Did you hear that? Rhodes Scholar scrub. So this is her giving hints to let people know that she was talking about Myron Rowe. Let's continue.
You are opening the door butt ass naked to women who have not encouraged that behavior, it makes you no better than a nigga jacking his dick on the 2 train to Harlem.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
Stop the predatory behavior. Stay up. And anybody who knows me knows that when I say stay up, you're dead.
Damn.
You have
Stay
died.
up, but I really want you to die.
Die.
All right?
You don't exist. You don't exist to me anymore. And I block because it's not a discussion. But yo, hella women
No, that's wild.
hit me and were like, you were absolutely correct about this person. You'd be very lucky that you dodged a bullet.
Damn.
Okay. So I want to make this clear. Everything that she said, nothing has been confirmed. None of these fictitious women that she said reached out to her and said they haven't said anything. None of this has been confirmed. So she's just up here talking. She out here yapping, right? Because just think about this, guys. If this, everybody know who Myron Rolle is. This would have been a hot topic, especially around this time. This dude was going to school. If he would have did so many girls wrong, you really mean to tell me that these women just keeping their mouths shut and not talking about it? Because none of these women have came out and said anything that she's referring to. Nothing. But there was a great channel that actually broke all this down. We're going to go back to it. Listen to this. Fair use.
Hey, what is up, you guys, and welcome back to the 423. Amanda Seales is big trash and just admitted to lying on a man that she accused of sexually harassing both her and multiple other women. This is far from the first time she's dug herself into a deep hole, but this situation is 1000% worse than anything she's ever been caught doing. Amanda accused ex-NFL player turned neurosurgeon Myron Rolle of being problematic with her over the phone, which she talked about both on her own platforms and on The Breakfast Club, later going on to say that without her saying any names, a bunch of other women came forward to tell her that Rolle was a sexual predator, citing a time that Rolle allegedly answered the door to his house naked before a date.
I really don't take it lightly what I'm about to say.
So listen to her explain this, and then let's see if her story changes a little bit on some of these videos. Here we go. Fair use.
Because when you name names, you put not only that person out there, but you also put yourself out there. But I feel as a woman who makes it my business to be a warrior for the truth, that it needs to be said. I, on my podcast and on The Breakfast Club, spoke about an individual who had approached me on the internet and who we spoke on the phone, and that they said some troubling things in the conversation that made me take a step back, and that also with literally like no investigation, it was brought to my attention that he had sexually harassed a woman by opening the door when she came to meet him for a date, butt naked, and then telling her that she was the one who was overreacting, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I heard that one story and was just like, whoa, that's crazy. When I spoke about him on my podcast and on the Breakfast Club, I didn't say his name. I literally just said a couple like characteristics about him, and it has been shocking and incredibly discomforting to me how many women, 8 as of tonight, that have come forward to say his name. They knew exactly who he was, to say his name, and that he had been incredibly problematic and, behaved in a very sexual, predatory way with them that some have said could have gotten him fired. So I say all that to say, if you are approached by Myron Rolle, you should just be mindful. I don't have empirical proof, but I've had enough women come forward saying that he was incredibly inappropriate with them, that I feel it would be inappropriate of me to not put the word out there that there is a man that is not being okay with women.
Myron.
Okay, so let me stop there. Fair use, by the way. Again, none of this stuff has been confirmed. No woman has even, you haven't even heard about Myron Rolle being into any issues. No charges have been pressed. Do y'all really think a black man could get away with SAing 8 women of that caliber, of his caliber, being a surgeon, a Rhodes Scholar? Y'all really think a black man get away with that? You really think 8 women are going to protect a black man? Come on, man. Let's continue. Fair use.
Was forced to address the situation back in February because, of course, these allegations can ruin reputations, careers, and even lives. And within his statement, he pointed out that Seales was just upset he didn't want to pursue a relationship, and that's why she's falsely accusing him.
See? Like I said, guys, he didn't see Amanda Seales as marriage type, wifey type. He saw Amanda Seales as an attractive woman that he probably wanted to sneak in with. Let's continue. Fair use.
He wrote, I understand that in today's world, the responsibility falls on the accused to prove themselves innocent, as opposed to one's alleged accuser having to prove their claims before going public. A blogger, online personality whom I've never met in person and have only interacted with once via phone.
Never met in person, interacted with once on the phone. Lord have mercy. Here we go.
Recently claimed that I verbally harassed her during a phone call exchange. She furthered these claims by stating that anonymous sources have come forward and added their accounts to her narrative. Let me make myself perfectly clear. These accusations are absolutely false and should be characterized as exactly what they are: acts of bullying, intimidation, and retaliation. I've been raised to respect women and to also keep my personal affairs private, as that is the respectful thing to do. However, I will not sit idly by and allow someone to engage in intentional character assassination simply because I did not return their advances or wish to engage in a relationship as they may have wanted. Amanda Seales referred to this man as a sexual predator and warned women to stay away from him without any proof other than random women supposedly DMing her on Instagram, and now she's backtracking on her statements, acting like she never did exactly what she did. So now, she's posted videos on Instagram clarifying her former statements about Myron, where she said, "I never accused Myron Rolle of sexually harassing me or of sending me inappropriate DMs. What I did say was that via DM, several women have approached me accusing him of sexually harassing them." Here's the rest of what she said about this.
Listen to this, guys. This is her attempt at trying to clean everything up. But why would you even put this into the atmosphere with no proof or no women that's ready to come forward with their stories? This is crazy. Here we go. Being a black man.
Subject.
Some things to address. 1. I never accused Myron Rolle of sexually harassing me or of sending me inappropriate DMs.
You see this? This girl. Okay, I'm going to stop.
What I did say was that via DM, several women have approached me accusing him of sexually harassing them. 2nd, I never said that black men were the cause for Jussie Smollett, and I also have never said that black men are solely the cause for holding black people back. That's preposterous.
So Amanda went from accusing this man of harassing her over the phone to saying that it never happened, and I genuinely don't think she sees why this is problematic. She's always the first person to accuse others and call them out when she thinks they're doing something wrong, but never takes accountability for her own actions. And I do hope that she faces some real consequences for perpetrating such a harmful narrative about someone who she never actually met in her real life. But of course, I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that Amanda Seales will face any real backlash for falsely accusing Marlon of being a predator? And why does she not seem to get the problem here? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments, subscribe to the 423 for more videos, and if you like this one, just give it a quick thumbs up.
There you have it. Nothing happened to Amanda Seales in regards to that, but that story actually haunts her till this day. Everything that young woman said in this video is exactly what's happening right now. She has no problem with accusing everybody else, but when people try and call her out, it's a problem. You see a pattern here? And until this day, like I said, Myron Rolle was doing very well. You know what I'm saying? Being a surgeon. He's married, 2 beautiful kids, beautiful wife. The dude did everything the right way. And nothing has come of this story that Amanda Seales put out about this brother. And it's just unfortunate that this black woman tried to do this to this black man because he didn't want a relationship with her. So that's actually what happened. Now, what's your thoughts on that? You guys can put it in the comment section as we go, and I'll read them a little bit later. But let me go ahead and acknowledge MC Recovery and Relapse, $2 super chat, said the wall hurts. Her standards way off, loudmouth. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, she dug herself her own hole. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. She going to be herself. And I think black men, I remember Kevin Samuels, he used to say, black men need media spaces for black men by black men. And I don't think Amanda Seales understands how much this is going to affect black women moving forward, because they see how she turned on Shannon Sharpe right after the interview. She's going on a tirade talking about, old Shay Shay. So now she's probably not going to be on anybody's platform. And I would encourage black men to stop bringing these types of women on their platforms. If she has a history of hating black men, don't bring that woman on. It's as simple as that. Let her have her own spaces and talk that foolery wherever she wants, but not where we are. We got to learn to be more, just tough, man. It's a young boy, 1-3, $5 super chat said all this silliness is coming from a woman who claims to be a victim of misdiagnosed autism. Lord have mercy. I don't understand why so many people hang on her words. Yeah, man. And that's crazy. And it's black women, it's black female doctors defending Amanda Seales by saying that she can self-diagnose herself with autism. Y'all know that I work and support Autism Speaks. Donate to them all the time. I'm on the leadership programs, did the 5K run. You know what I'm saying? And for her to say that was crazy. And literally black women are defending her. And that's kind of another reason why I knew the black community is going to have a tough time changing this shit. Because if you got doctors, this is literally doctors arguing in the comment section under her post, Amanda Seales' post, about if she can self-diagnose herself with autism. Seriously. It's only in the black community we do foolery like this, because it seems like the black woman is above reproach. Like she can't be wrong. It's unfortunate, man. It's just... Dante Bryan, $5 super chat said, so-called black woman being vindictive, what's new? Yeah, man, it's just sad, man. But let's go on and get out of here, man. I got to get something to eat. Like I said, I got an ultrasound tomorrow. That sounds pretty crazy. But yes, so I got to eat now, eat a big meal, and I have to fast until then. So, yeah, so I'm going to be out of it for a little bit, but I'll be up early this morning to go get my medical workups done, and I should be back hopefully Wednesday so we can finish talking about some passport stuff. I'm gonna save that for Wednesday, but I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you to everybody who donated. Like I said, this is the last show of April. I appreciate all the support. Shouts out to Dante Bryan for supporting throughout the whole month. Greatly appreciate that, brother. And yeah, man, I think this was an amazing show. Be on the lookout for some of these great videos to be clipped up. I got a couple of them. I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be great. I see Danny in the building, my guy. What's going on, Danny? He said, Media Man to go. Appreciate that, brother. Good to see Danny back in the building. Let's see here. Get a couple. Ron says, seems professionally dishonest to say someone can self-diagnose. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's just sad. Rad Talk, Media Man. Appreciate it, good brother. Thank y'all. But yeah, finish, enjoy the rest of the week. Watch some of this good hoop. Hopefully the Lakers can get a win. I can come back here on Wednesday and be preparing for Game 6. So hopefully the Lakers won't let me down, man. But I appreciate y'all's support. And I will leave y'all with, let's see what we got. Fast car. Yeah, we'll do that. So thank y'all again. God bless. And I'll be back hopefully on Wednesday, barring nothing happens or changes at work. So appreciate the support. Again, Media Man out. Thank y'all.
A fast car. I wanted to get you anywhere. Maybe we can make it. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Started from zero and nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights laid out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. I had a feeling that I belonged. Yeah, yeah, yeah.